Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin. I'm your host. It's Thursday night. Why is Tone laughing?
Sorry.
Because your curtains are shit.
Yeah. Hey, they're all right, these. Cost a bit, you know.
Nay, that's one slap you're getting on Saturday. Oh, get rid of that. Good evening, Ed. How are you?
Go on, Ed.
Ed's here.
Evening, Ed.
Oh, bit bright.
Sorry. I know you guys don't like sunshine. Let me.
No, we don't. What do you think I'm so
Hey,
pale there,
used to
mate?
sunshine today. Good evening, guys. How are you?
Not too bad, Martin. About yourself?
Great. Phone been going like bleeding Billy O all day. Fun and games.
Bit of
I wanna
double
turn my
egg.
phone off. My phone's gone on silent anyway. No one
Evening,
can.
Tony. Evening, Ed.
Right.
Good, boss.
Let's
Good
say
to
some
see you back.
hellos.
Thanks,
Good
mate.
evening, Mingy Wong. Hope you are well. Nope, sitting in similar block. Block 111, I think.
He'll be sat next to some handsome devil. You'll see him. You'll know what I mean.
Yeah, in a Southampton shirt. Pep chat needed. Looking forward to being on top. Well, we'll get into it. We're getting linked with every player right now. What the F is happening? El Krupe, yeah, he's the latest one. He's the Marmouche replacement apparently now. Enzo Fernandez to Manchester City. Here we go. Yeah, we all love a racist. Do we even need Enzo Fernandez? Not really, because I know what a racist anywhere in a football club. We'll swiftly move on. We will talk about it. Enzo Manescu is leading candidate to replace Pep Guardiola at City this summer. Positive talks are reportedly taking place over Maresca returning this summer. I was gutted that Nico G didn't start last night, as was Ozzy. He's leader and president of the Nico G fan club. Man City 3-1 against Southampton. Yeah, me and Pep. Great minds think alike. Wow, says Sakurama. Well, I do apologise. Sakurami, I do apologise in advance. Second again. John Stones will leave Manchester City at the end of the season. It is set to be confirmed. Jesus, the amount of transfers that are going on right now. Do not want Enzo. We can pip Company. He would be a better fit. Not going to happen, sadly. Sold his mansion. So no plans to come back to Manchester at the current time. Apparently Southampton are unbeaten since January. Yes, they are. Why do we even need
Tone can
Enzo?
talk to this. I heard they got one of the big players out. He just got suspended. Flynn Downs for 3 games.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Good
Just
player.
say good evening, mate. Hope you are well stateside. This is Pep Sashier. I want the club to announce it before the end of the season. We're probably going to kick off with that because Tomes begged me to come on tonight to talk about this.
Beg day.
I've actually got the WhatsApps to prove it. I will read what said WhatsApp.
We're on hands and knees and kind of, please, Martin, please.
Yes,
just
you
said,
did.
"Oh, come on." That's it.
No, you didn't. You went. I'll tell you what, let's do a show tomorrow because there's so much to talk about. I'll tell you what,
There
screw
is.
that. I'll find some time tonight to do it. Your exact words.
Bloody private comms, innit? You know what I mean? no privacy on the
Don't make me
Mancunian,
out to
mate.
be a liar then.
This is
Bloody
why
hell.
you should keep it short and succinct.
We could easily have won 4-0 last night. We could have, should have.
But chat, there is a lot to get into tonight. It's going to be a great show, man. There's a lot to dig into, for sure.
Big up
man,
to
Ed.
Dars for the Samaritan links. We're going to say hellos and then we'll get into it. Top class Dars with the Samaritan link. MCFC 5225. He's saying big up Tone. And he says, hey, MCFC 5225. Evening, formidable. Hope you're good, buddy. I feel sorry for Kyle Walker because he was playing in the EFL next season. I thought, yeah, that's quite a good game last night, funnily enough. Adam Quinn, yes, Blues. Evening, Brandon. Hello. On the game, I'm happy that we're top. However, lots of opportunities and chances to get goal difference. Misplaced touches, finishings, awareness. Yep, so many links today. Yep, not just the ones on YouTube. Viana is crazy now having a credit card. Daddy's got the credit card. And he wants
don't get Martin started. We do not need to talk. We don't need to. We don't need to.
It's gonna happen, Edge.
No.
Tone, according to Martin, you are his bodyguard on Saturday. However, he plans to take me by throwing you at me. Oh yeah, I said that. We'll win 4-0 Saturday because we have Trafford in goal. Martin said it'll be a busy summer. To be fair, I did. At the end of the day, people could take the piss all they want. Stick my track record. My track record speaks for itself.
He loves it.
Koulibaly. Sorry.
I noticed he picks out the one thing of about 40 things I got wrong. Picks one thing. The other 39.
40 things you got wrong. I could go on, but I won't.
Do you want to talk the Bernardo contract? Do you want to talk the Oscar Bob? Do you want to talk the Reinders? Should we go on? Hey, you want to do this, Ozzy? We'll do it, mate.
I don't want to upset you any more than you already are.
No, you don't. I don't want the racists anywhere near the football club. Spot on. Salute,
Who's
guys.
racist?
Burnley part of the bus. Enzo Fernandez. He was a confirmed racist. Do you not see his comments, what he said about his teammates?
We'll
No.
get
At
into
the
it,
Copa
though.
America.
No, I don't. I'm not saying he said it.
No, he did actually say them. He actually said it in an interview, and it was disgusting. But anyway, I don't want
There
him
was a
anyway.
team bus
Look.
singing incident as well, wasn't there?
Yeah. Love Thursday night streams. Thank you, Cosmic Ballet. Big up. I'll let you decide. Well, when are you joining us, Misery Guts? We're top of the league. We're top of the league. We're Manchester City. We're top of the league. If Southampton score, Hope Tone's not celebrating. I'll have to pin him down.
Fuck off.
Evening, Foggy, Mill Mucker. I hope you well. Hope you are well. Look after yourself, mate. Great chat earlier on. And next week, I'm going to dig all these programs out, Foggy, and we're going to have a show where I go. I've got loads of programs, some of them like from the 20s, the 40s, the 60s, just some really good ones in there. And we're going to give them away on the channel as a prize.
Nice.
Some proper good programs in there. I've been in the loft and had a scour of my dad's stuff. You will have Trafford in goal on Saturday. Yes, you will. Tone exposed. Right, couple of super chats. MCFC, thank you very much, mate. Big up, lads. Crazy amount of info today. Croupy in from Mamouche. Lots of Maresca talk again. Do you think Fernandez and Anderson are separate targets? Also, do you expect rotation on Saturday? Yes. Not sure. One of them's quite strong. Foggy with a gifted 20.
Would splinter out your ass there, Martin?
Big up, Foggy with a 20, sir. You, sir, are a legend. If you have got a gifted membership of Foggy, please say thank you in the chat. So, yeah, Crew Peter Mamouche, no idea. Maresca, yeah, these talks are true. Fernandez and Anderson, separate targets. And do I expect a rotation on Saturday? Yes. There you go. People who do United use missed opportunities last night. We ain't winning on goal difference. Better play that Arsenal drop points. Thanks for the sub. No problems. Buxton's with us, Bruno G. Yeah, I did get that one wrong. They didn't put the bid in. But I never said they made the bid. I said they had to activate the release clause. And they didn't activate the release clause.
He'll never live it down.
Not that well, no.
No.
Yeah, the other 40 I got right, we're ignoring them. It is a fresh stream. Thank you very much, son. Good morning, evening, lads. See you soon. Yeah, lovely governor. You and your chirpy birds will be here. Right now, Nori was fuming last night as he was being subbed. Yes, he was. Big up, everyone. I would be on tonight, but my voice is so I don't want to be completely losing. Well, Saturday, no problems, mate. Hope you get well, and we'll have a chat on Saturday. Good programs. You're talking. No. Hope quite a lot of rotation on Saturday. I don't think there can be too much, but we'll talk about that during the show. Martin is correct 98% of the time. Yeah. How are you doing there? Martin, why the fuck are there so many transfer rumours? Well, we were going to kick off with Burnley, but Tone, you wanted to kick off with this.
Pep?
Go on then.
Right, okay. So wanted to
on,
make
then.
sure. I didn't want to start going, and then you went, "Oh well, by the way."
Right, we'll start with Maresca and Pep.
Just need some warnings.
Look, again, now before I say this, I know what is going to happen. I'll say something and I'll make it clear that it is not 100%. It's not confirmed. It's just me. And then somebody somewhere will come out and go, Tone said this, 100% is happening. I've not said it.
Ozzy will, because that's what he does.
Yeah. I do.
Right.
If needed.
The stuff I'm hearing from media bods, more than one, is that they all think they're all on the same page that Pep's going this summer, and Maresca will, unless he gets hit by bloody lightning or struck by lightning, he's going to be the next manager of Manchester City from this summer. That is what they believe. It is not confirmed, but the club are very, very tight-lipped, as they would be. Ozzy's not happy. I don't want Pep to go. I want Pep to stay for 10, 20, 30, 40 bloody years. I don't care. Yeah. And I want him to stay as long as possible, but it just seems that word is now building with even people that are reliable to City, close to City. There's just a lot of noise. I was speaking to one of the big blues who sort of gets stuff around the club, heard the exact same, that they're keeping tight-lipped, but there's a few people saying a bit too much around him that Pep is going to go this summer. Now, obviously, Pep could turn around in May and say, no, I'm staying, end of.
Yes,
but I think he will. Of course. But right now, if I'm putting money on it, serious money, and I'm not a betting man, but if I was, it would be that he's going to go and Maresca will be the manager from the summer. That's it. And I'm now going to get shit.
Well, I just think, like, I know a lot of people have this stuff to say. I just think for me that it's likely that Maresca will be our manager this summer or next summer. I don't think, I know there's an extension on board for Pep if he wants to sign it, but I think how things are trending right now, even if he stays for another year, that would be his final year on his contract. And I can guess that Maresca will be willing to wait for that time if needed. So I know he's not a favorite by a lot of people. He's not the first option by a lot of people. I know there's some concerns around the manager, but this is another part of the rebuild process. You know, we talked about this time coming. I know there's an emotional attachment to Pep. We all love Pep, and so that's why we're here talking about it.
Yeah, just to add as well on this, I mean, I'll be honest, the words used by, I can't give names, but a couple of people will know.
They are very good, credible media sources that are coming up with this.
Yeah, and one of them was basically we're in the final part. Is there thought behind it from what the vibe is around City at the moment? But as I say, if Pep turns around in May and says, no, I'm staying and hopefully I'll renew, I'll bloody be over the moon. And I hope that is what happens and I hope it's all totally wrong. But he was on campus last Thursday afternoon. That's been confirmed. I think that's in a couple of the media reports today. So that sent that out.
No, he wasn't being shown around saying hello to people. Yeah, I know everyone's going to.
He'll know the place quite well. Yeah, he won't need to be shown.
He only worked there for 3 years. No.
Yeah. Look, let's put it this way: if Pep goes in the summer, Maresca will absolutely, and I'll say 100. I'm not going to say 98. If Pep goes, Maresca will be Man City's manager. You can put everything on that. It's all there. It's there. That's all I can say. Anyway, that's what I got.
Yeah, that is the understanding that me and Tony have been talking all day about this. Yeah, if Pep does go, it's going to be Maresca. It will not be Company. Wow. It will not be Enrique. It will be Enzo Maresca.
Not Alonso.
Not Alonso. So that's my guy out. That's my guy off. My guy's off the list. It's going to be Maresca, whether we like it or not.
Apparently,
not my first choice, not my ideal choice, not my pick of the bunch. But We have to
Apparently
trust the club on it.
Sorry, apparently Fab's retweeted his Maresca tweet as well just now. Apparently, someone's messaged me. So, look, shit's whirling in the background. It's up to Pep. It's totally 100% up to
What
Pep.
needs
They're
to
not going
happen
to
is
sack
Pep
him.
now I know people are going to say this is the wrong timing, but this is now going to a point where City are going to have to confirm something soon.
Why? I'm sorry, but you two guys have been going on about this for the last, 5-10 minutes. And it's funny how these rumours always seem to come out when City start doing well again. The media agenda here is unbelievable. We had this a couple of months ago, David Ornstein going, we were doing really quite well, and all of a sudden it was David Ornstein coming out with, I've heard these rumours. And again, it's rumours. Now, I'm not completely pulling your rumours from you, Tone. You know, I know you get credible sources, and I know Martin does as well at times. But I'm really sorry, but I have to say this, that at the end of the day, like this isn't the first time we've heard this. We've heard this for how many years now, that Pep is going to leave, that Pep is out the door, blah, blah, blah. It's all come from the media because they need to spin stories, because this is what sells. I'm surprised 115 hasn't come out, to be honest, because we're now top of the league. I'm sure it'll come out if Newcastle beat Arsenal at the weekend. It'll all be 115. You know, this is just how it goes. So until Pep comes out himself, and I expect Pep will come out himself at some point in the future and say, my time is done, I'm off, here's the replacement, blah, blah. Now, I'm not saying it might not be, Maresca, because it could be. I don't think he's a bad manager. I don't think he's the best option, but I don't think he's a bad option. So it's not just me putting hate on Maresca. This is me looking at this objectively and going, it smells like bull, in all honesty. It looks like it. And I just think that we are getting to the point of the season where the media needs to talk, and the media need to say something to belittle City. They need to kind of poke the knives in, and this is what happens every single time. In all honesty, when the news eventually breaks, we'll know. And we'll know from Pep. We're not going to know like this, that it's going to come out in drips and drabs and blah, blah. It's just not going to happen that way. I expect, in all honesty, that Pep will sign another extension at the end of next year, because at the moment, he looks like he's really enjoying himself. He's getting back into the groove. The players that are in at the moment, I think we've got some fantastic projects coming. I can see him going for another few years yet, because why would he go? And I'm hearing, we heard about all the stuff about him being burnt out, about scratching his head. There's been none of that lately. He's really looked like he's enjoying himself and he's happy. And this is just another media bias to come in and say, you're doing well at the moment, but he's going to be going in a couple of months.
Ozzy, did you think Bernardo was leaving?
I said months ago that I thought Bernardo would probably go and probably should go. I don't want him to go in some respects, because I've seen what he's done this season, but there has to come a time where players and managers have to go. But I realistically think that it's not going to drop, that Pep's not going to leave in a World Cup year with just literally months to go in this season, and all of a sudden the uproar that's going to cause. I just don't believe it. I really don't. So
what does the World Cup have to do with it, Ozzy? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking
because you got to remember, these players are not going to have a pre-season or much of one. Okay, so for a new manager to come in, I think for a manager like Maresca to come in at that point, I think he's just asking too much. You want a new manager to come in when he's got a proper full pre-season ahead of him, not just slotted in and expected just to hit the ground.
Isn't that the club though? Wouldn't the club want that? Not. I don't think that has concerns Pep. I think Pep's
not going to just drop. I don't think Pep's just going to drop us like a stone and go, I've done everything. I've done all these things, brilliant things. Now it's your problem to deal with. I just don't believe he's not going to do it at Ferguson, where he's just going to leave in the middle of a project. He's going to want to have this team in his best form, and there's still so much still to do. So I just don't believe it. I'm not saying that he might not go at the end of next season, because that could happen. But right now, no. I just personally think it's media coming out with this and spinning it.
No, I mean, I agree. Listen, I see your point, Ozzy, but I think,
yeah.
I think we know whether it's this season or next. It looks like it's going to be Maresca.
I still don't believe that either.
You don't think it'll be Maresca?
I'm not saying I don't know who it is going to be, in all honesty, because there are several candidates that are all decent candidates. The problem we're going to have is it doesn't matter who comes through that door after Pep. It's not going to be Pep Guardiola. It just isn't. That's the biggest problem we are going to have, is that it could be a company, it could be a, what's his face at PSG, it could be any of these managers, but it doesn't mean they're suddenly going to come in and do what Pep Guardiola, not even half of what Pep has done. And that's something that as a fan base we're going to have to accept and get over, that it doesn't matter who comes in. So I'm not saying Maresca is a bad choice. I don't think he's the best choice, but I'm not going to suddenly melt down and go, he's the worst choice ever. I just don't believe it right now.
I think the point I was making, Ozzy, when I asked you about the World Cup year, was a point Darsh has brought up. Really good one. I don't want to say this, but we're forgetting that Pep has a family. Oh, there you go. So, and that is right. I think Pep will do what's right for him and his family. Of course, he'll care about the club, but I don't think his decision will be based on City having no pre-season or a shorter pre-season or the World Cup. To him, and I don't know the guy, but I'm just speculating. I just think he will make the decision, and City will respect his decision. If he turns around tomorrow and says, look, I'm sorry, you're going to have a shorter summer, but I've had enough. Family, we're going to New York, whatever. They will pat him on the back and say, all good, mate. All good. You've done unbelievable. But I just don't think that will factor into it. It's just my view.
Yeah, can I just say, I know some people in the chat are wondering, I get people want to focus on the games, and we will. We are going to do. But when we've had a day like we've had today, we can't, as a channel, in good faith, just ignore it all. Can't just ignore what's going on. We can't say, well, Bernardo Stones is going. They've announced that during the season. A crucial time in the season. Bernardo's announced he's going. KDB announced he was going in April. This is the time when announcements, signings will happen. That's just football, guys. I keep saying this, deals don't take a week. Deals take months to get off the ground, especially big deals. We've got to look at this from both sides. I know people want us just to focus on games, but we've got to, in good faith, do it on both sides as well.
You've also got to remember that the media will want to get ahead of the curve, get as many subs, as many likes, as many interactions as possible before the summer. They wait till the end of the season and start doing transfer stories. They've moved on to other people. That's why the Athletic, all these lot are sending them now. Anderson, favourite. Anderson agreed. Anderson, City want him, X, Y, and Z. They're doing it now to get ahead of the summer, ahead of the curve. They're all doing it. The Mirror will be doing it tomorrow. Then the Sun.
No. BM, by the way, I know you're saying they have no subs, but some do. This is my point. We can't believe Fabrizio when it's Anderson, or it was Reinders last season, or it was whoever. Now, when maybe things aren't maybe what we want, say that's garbage, we're ignoring it. I said this week ago, we can't pick and choose when we believe the Fabrizio.
Do you know what the difference is, though, Martin, from other seasons in the past is Viana? Because when Cheeky was the sporting director, it was pretty much radio silence from the club. We barely got any sort of news out of the club. It was tight-lipped. It was denied. They even not only denied, but there's certain rumours like Neymar came out. The club would just come out straight away and say, "No way, we're not interested whatsoever." So Viana acts in a completely different way, and we've seen this in the last year that he's been here. Is that he now has some sort of relationship with Fabrizio. So he uses Fabrizio, and I'm sure it's a mutual, way of them kind of putting stuff out there, for mutual gains and benefits. But I also think this is the reason we're getting so many rumours at the moment is because this is how Viana operates. He wants to have several options, and he doesn't mind them being in the open. Because
1 minute, Ozzy, sorry. Stay safe, Foggy, mate. Please look after yourself and your health. Please do that. So don't apologise for having sleep, mate. Go and drink Take care, mate.
Love him.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Ozzy. I just tried to because Foggy's.
No,
totally.
Leave.
I just tried to say goodbye. That was all.
Yeah, no. So for me, this is just the Viana way now. This is something we're just going to have to get used to going forward. Is that this is the way that he operates. He loves having stuff out in the media now because, like with the Ellis Anderson and the Enzo stuff at the moment, I actually think it's a bit of a gameship play because I think it's more likely he's turned around to the Nottingham Forest owner and gone, "You've put 100+ million on A. Allenson. Well, we're not going to pay that. So we're going to put some news out through Fabrizio and other sources that we're looking at Enzo or somebody else." Do you know what I mean? I think that's what's going to happen more and more. And it's something that we're just going to get more and more used to as time goes on because this is no longer cheeky. This is the Viana era.
Yeah, no, listen, I get that. I mean, I said it the other day, and we'll go into it more in the summertime and towards the end of the season. This is potentially going to be the biggest summer we've had since the takeover. And you can see that with the players, which we'll get into when we're going to do the Burnley bit in a minute. But there's a lot of question marks over a lot of players right now, both in and out. There's question marks over the manager. There's question marks over everything right now. I think it's probably a situation as a football club and as a fan base we've not been in for a good 10, 12 years. And I think this is why we're all like, whoa, head spinning stuff here because it's not the way we normally in. But Ozzy makes a great point. This is not the cheeky show anymore. This is the Viana show. And Viana may want to stamp his authority all over the gaff. Maybe Viana's not bothered about, right? I fucked up in a signing. We'll sell him and get someone else. Maybe Viana's not bothered about that. That was something Tone mentioned a long time ago. Viana's a bit more, I'll splash the cash. Don't worry about me, Jack. And maybe he is, you know. For example, Reinders didn't work after the year. Maybe Reinders ain't going to get a year like others may have got the year. And maybe it is. See ya, get somebody else. Not saying I agree with it and I don't like it and I think it's a silly model. But
I don't think it's the worst thing in the world sometimes.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Listen, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world because I think there are some times where we've kept on hold of players for too long and we've made mistakes. You look at someone like Calvin Phillips, who realistically we should have got rid of after the first year because I think there were buyers at that point. Now, maybe it wasn't for the price tag that City maybe wanted, but I think at some points you've just got to go, I have to just let a player go. So I think you are going to possibly see, Viana a little bit more ruthless in the market and go, if you're not working out and you're not hitting the ground running, sorry, but it's a ruthless business.
We were on LB's show when it was broke that Chicky was stepping down. And that very same hour we were told it's the guy at Sporting Lisbon. And LB said, it's Lisbon. And then it come out that that was right just after he finished. And the very first thing I was told...
We were on the show and it
had the message through saying it's the guy at Sporting Lisbon. I said to LB, it's the Lisbon guy. And then straight after, I said, do you know much about him? Anything about him? They said, all we know is he don't mess about. He don't piss around. So you could be right. I think if he thinks he's bought someone that they think this ain't going to work, they're not going to give them maybe a bit more time. They might just say, sod it. Might do. Not with everybody. I'm not saying 20 are going to go. I don't think he's made many mistakes, but
I think it's everything. So, well, guys, you've got not only the manager, the backroom, the Viana, you've got the Foden, no contract signed yet. Rodri, no contract signed yet. Rumours about players coming out. Rumours about players coming in. There's so much upheaval, as you want to call it upheaval. But in a way, I agree with Ozzy. Yeah, some of it will be a bit naughty from the media. I agree. But City don't normally take contract renewals to this late. We don't normally go into the last year with a big player in the prime. and still not be stuck and we don't know where we're at.
I think there are reasons.
Gundogan did it with Gundogan. Oh, we did it with Gundogan.
Gundogan was in his 30s. So Foden's 24, 25. Rodri's 28. We've never done that with someone in that age. That's why it's a prime.
I think
someone
Foden
34 and get it.
Foden will sign a contract at the end of the season. I'm pretty sure of that. Rodri, I think, will also extend. I'm not as confident about as Foden, but I'm more confident Foden will extend. I don't see him going anywhere.
Formidable over £2. Thank you, mate. Pep next season. No one has done the quad yet. Very true. Listen, I hope you're right, mate, and I hope what's going on now. And I hope he was at City last night saying hello. Last week. Not last night. I hope he was at the CFA just saying hello, but there's an old saying, there's no smoke without fire sometimes. That's
I mean, I sent you lads that list of question marks. Ake, Rico, Vitor, Rice or Heiss, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Echeverry, Foden, Kovacic, Nico G, Rodri, Reinders, Savinho, Marmouche, Pep. We got question marks over that group, and the Bernardo, Stones, Trafford, Akanji, and Grealish are going. I don't know how many that is. What's that? 15, 16 players there? It's balmy question marks.
Thank you, AMCFC. Roger will be turning 30. When Gundogan was here, he was 31 when we waited.
Yeah. And we have been waiting for Rodri.
And he went, And he went, Ed.
And he came back.
And everyone, but that's came back. My point is, again, Rodri's not Gundogan. Gundogan wasn't Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, no. I think the people saying about CFA and all that, it's not just that though. If there was no rumours and it was literally one that Maresca went to City, everyone would be like, who cares? Because Neil Warnock was there a few weeks ago. No one cares. But it's the fact that love or hate the guy, Fab knows his shit. And he keeps retweeting that bloody post about Maresca. He's saying if Pep goes, he's coming in. He knows his shit. You know what I mean? So I think there's a build-up of it. And a lot of the media is saying, Ornstein, all these people, there's not confirmed, but there's a good chance that he goes. I pray not. I don't want Maresca.
Real Mario's after. Real Mario loves all later ruthlessness. Get me trophies.
No, that's what I'm saying with Viana. There's some people that like Viana in the fan base. Like we got LB with the Viana cigar. He's doing a great job, right? And then you got other people that think Viana has made some poor decisions. So,
Yeah, but can I just say, by the way, MCFC 5225, thank you for becoming a brand new YouTube member. Welcome to the family, my friend. It will be great. Good topic. We'll watch show tomorrow. No problem, mate. Appreciate that. I'll watch out for it. Glad you got mine, and I hope you are well, buddy. Right, we'll come back to that in a minute, because no doubt this topic will come up. Last night's game. That got a bit spicy in the WhatsApp. I had a great time at Burnley. We sang some great songs. We had a great time. These two miserable buggers on my right, your left, he's probably looking at it, and Rich, miserable little buggers, became Alan for 25 minutes.
Whatever.
Yeah, what's he waffling about?
Me and Pat,
he has a massive waffle.
Yeah. We were the sensible ones, me and Pat, last night.
Sensible.
You and Pat.
Ed stayed out the conversation. Sensible. Ed wasn't getting involved in it.
Ed was probably asleep, and you did.
But City did go top of the league.
Yeah, I was working, right? But let me say my bit about the Brown thing, since you guys been talking about it in the chat, right? Like, I think people understand there's this nervousness around goal difference and everything like that. But we're not Arsenal, guys. We don't have to wait for a team like Burnley to put up 3-4 goals, right? If I was to tell you when we play Everton, we beat them 3-0, and I tell you we had a good night, I bet none of you guys will be surprised if that's the result we get. I think any team we play from now on, we could be likely to put as many goals as we can by them if we're clinical. We've been like that all season, right? We've had games where we haven't taken our chances. We got games where we take our chances. So that's why I'm not really worried about the goal difference, because I don't think we need to wait for Burnley to come around to put up 3-4 goals. I think we can do that to a lot of teams if we're on it. So that's why I'm not really nervous about the whole goal difference.
Ed, do you know how many teams have won the Premier League on goal difference? And do you know who that team was?
Oh, yes.
So,
It was us.
I mean, that's an interesting fact right there. And I agree with you. I don't think it's all going to be down to goal difference. I do think we missed opportunities last night. There's no denying
For sure.
that. You know, I think we weren't clinically enough. And we said this in our private chat. Like me, Rich, and Tone all said we just weren't clinical enough last night, and that was our biggest criticism of the team. You know, we were happy that we'd won, and Martin may kind of disagree with that, but we were all happy that we come out with not only a clean sheet, that we've got all 3 points and we're in top of the league, because that is a big statement in itself. Do you know what I mean? That puts the pressure on Arsenal right now. I mean, I've been hearing a lot from Arsenal fans all day that the pressure's now on City. They're the ones in front. You've not only got to go and win your next 2 games, which I don't think are going to be as easy as they claim they're going to be. Like, I know Newcastle aren't in the greatest form right now, and there's lots of rumours about Eddie Howe's job right now, but they're a team that we know that can just be hard to beat. They can really make it a physical, ugly game. And then they've got Atletico Madrid, and we know what Atletico Madrid can do to you. Do you know what I mean? They are not afraid of making the game rough. Do you know what I mean? So Arsenal players have got a lot to try and get over in the next week or 2. Do you know what I mean? They're the ones that have got to prove a lot right now, because at the end of the day, they've left the gate wide open for us to walk in. That was their mistake, and we're taking advantage.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Martin. Cover your ears here, mate. I don't think we played.
I'm just
particularly
rereading
well
the messages, and there wasn't a lot of positivity, unless it was from my side last night.
Yes, you were happy,
positivity.
I don't think we played particularly well last night. You know, we weren't at our free-flowing, top-notch best. We can play better than that. If we play like that at Everton and Bournemouth, we will not be winning those games. City have got to play better than they did last night, in my opinion, to win that game. I'm delighted we won. If you'd have said before the game, 1-0, do you take it? I would take it, because it's 3 points. Because you never know what's going to happen. Someone might get sent off in the first 10 minutes and you're cooked. I take 1-0 before the game. But when you score after 6 minutes against a team that are 19th, without sounding arrogant, Martin, I thought we would go on to score more. I don't think it's arrogant to say that. I just thought we would. And I just thought we'd be a bit better and maybe show a bit more urgency. We just seemed very calm, casual, which is great if you're free up. No problem. Great. Do it. It just seemed a little bit bizarre to me. We just seemed too casual. But I do think it's because the players were heavily fatigued after Arsenal. I think mentally, physically, they were drained after that game. Pep made a comment about them being, I can't remember the word he used, but tired, essentially.
Well, mental fatigue, Tone, I agree with you there that, it took a lot out of them to get that over that game. There's no denying that. I think even Arsenal players would probably say exactly the same thing, that the mental fatigue after that game was huge. So there would be some result going into this game. I also think Rodri was a big miss. I don't think Nico Riley did particularly well in the midfield, in all honesty. I don't think he did a bad job, but he wasn't Rodri. Him and Bernardo Silva didn't seem to have a great partnership. And I think Nori, I don't think he did a bad job, in all honesty. I think he was just unlucky to get pulled. I don't think he made did anything wrong. I just felt that Pep thought, you know what, I need O'Reilly back at left back because, that's just where I need him right now.
He can give you a goal.
And I need, and I need Nico to come into midfield. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way it looks to me. That I don't think anyone was at their best, but I don't think anybody was at their worst last night. Do you know what I mean? I just think it was a bit of a 6 out of 10 performance from the guys. Do you know what I mean?
Can I point out something that's like kind of pissing me off, right? And I think this kind of goes back to how we've been treating players, right? I'm hearing a lot of stuff on Semenyo, right? And he hasn't had a great couple of games, and everybody wants to talk about his first touch. But I didn't hear about nobody talking about his first touch when he was scoring goals for us when he came into the team. And we were talking about the people with the first touch weren't the ones scoring the goals. So we needed somebody different to come in and score the goals, right? And so with a player like Semenyo, he's not going to give you that, right? Sometimes he's not going to have the best first touch. But I actually thought yesterday he had some good touches where he's bumped the fullback, got in behind, tried to lay it off. And not every time you're gonna be in position to score, you score, right? But I would take him in those positions than other wingers that we have currently. And
I think that's the big thing there, Ed, is that actually, I don't think his first touch is brilliant. I think, especially over the last few games, I have to kind of say, it's not been good. But what he is brilliant at, and I think out of the wingers we have currently got in the team, he puts the ball in the back of the net better than anybody from out of our wingers, and probably from a lot of wingers in the Premier League currently. So he hasn't got numbers for no reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's had a couple of bad games. The biggest problem I find we've got at the moment is that Semenyo is allowed to have a bad game here or there. The problem we've got is that we've got no one to back him up that can come in and take over when he has a bad game. Because when Semenyo came on, what did he bring? Nothing yet again. So I think that is an issue going forward.
Yeah, I thought Kushanov, again, I'm sorry if I've mispronounced it. I thought he was our best player. I thought he was superb last night. I thought the rest of them were okay, played within themselves a little bit tired, but he was outstanding. And without that pace on the break, you remember that break they had? It's very
like he ran towards where he was, and then he had to sprint all the way back when the ball.
Unbelievable player, brilliant player. Still vastly underrated, in my view. I don't think people realise, not everybody, some people realize how good this guy is going to be. I mean, he's got everything.
Oh, yeah, no, he was phenomenal. See, where I pushed back was, because last night, did we finish well? No, we were crap at finishing, let's be straight. But I don't think we played bad. I heard many say we played bad. Don't think we did. I keep saying it, you don't create 28 chances and have an XG of 3.54 and then go, you played bad. We played, the finishing was crap, 100%. On another night, that's 7-0. And I kid you not, it was that dominant going forward. Their goalie pulled off 2 worldies.
We never got
could have been 3-1.
The biggest problem.
They had one shot on target, Tone. And here's another thing that's getting right up my crotch at the minute. They had one shot on target, which was a Donnarumma save.
But we saw that they had 3 fairly solid chances 20 minutes in. We could have conceded 3.
You're not playing Sunday League. There's this idea that in the Premier League you don't give up chances. People forget that was Burnley's last chance to not be officially relegated last night.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by the arrogant thing of just rocking up and 4-5-0. I saw it pre-match online. 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. People were knocking it around like we were going, like it was a game of FIFA.
And plus, when you try to be gung-ho, you're going to be like that at the back because all your players...
Yeah, but what is this? People got this thing of, I keep saying it, Pep was upset at the chances, and he said that in his post-match. But he said, we've just come off a game against Arsenal where we've absolutely run our whatsits off. And someone spot on with this. If I'd have said to you, we win 1-0 away at Chelsea, and we win 3-0 at Burnley. If it was the other way around, you'd all be happy. You remember Southampton last season? People have got to stop this. And for me, it is a touch of arrogance that we just turn up and smash everyone.
But who said
I don't
that?
think we're that team at the moment, in all honesty, though.
Exactly. Spot on, Ozzy. We're not that team to smash everyone at the minute.
No, we're not. I mean, that's being brutally honest. I think, in all honesty, we're ahead of where we're supposed to be. Like, I think most people at the beginning of the season, I mean, we were all optimistic saying we could win the league, but I think in the back of our minds, we were thinking, this team is still rebuilding. You know, we're still kind of on a rebuilding. You know, I think we may challenge, but none of us expect us to be winning the league. We may get a cup here or there, be in the Champions League, but, you know, not really kind of get very far with that because this team just didn't seem like it was quite ready. And I still don't think we're quite ready. I think the only reason we're really here, for being brutally honest, is because Arsenal have faltered and they've let us come through the door. And now we've got our foot in the door. You know, we've got a big opportunity to win the league. There's no denying that. But for me, and like I said, I don't think this team is quite at its peak like it was during the treble season. Do you know what I mean? A lot of these players have not won a league before. And they've only, like a lot of them have only just won a trophy with City. Do you know what I mean? That was the League Cup. And as great as that is, and we know what that can do for us and where it can lead, because we've seen it before, you know, history can repeat itself. But we are still coming into this as relatively new players, new system, new way of doing things. And I think we're just ahead of where we should be. And it's brilliant. But let's not kid ourselves.
Spot on. That's exactly how I see it. And last night, that away end, and you know, because obviously I didn't get back till late. I did the space, came home. I literally managed to watch the game this afternoon. I managed to watch the game this afternoon. What?
You did a what last night?
I did a space on the way back from the game.
Don't go into that.
I thought you were never going to do a space ever again, Martin. What happened?
It turned into chaos again. Turned into chaos again because everyone was like, "Why didn't we win?
He loves the drama.
Why didn't we win 5-0?" Was the thing that came out. But the thing, listen, like I said, the amount of chances we had, we were poor. But another thing that really upset me last night a little bit was, and I'm sorry, I'm not, you know, Mark said I'm not trying to whinge, but Nico O'Reilly got a lot of stick last night, and fine, I get. Did he play great? No. But some of the stuff being said about his first bad game in God knows what, when for me he's my player of the season, I'm like, Jesus Christ, one bad game. And then I clicked what it was. It's because Nico G, he took Nico G's place. So that's when I clicked why the because sad no, Ozzy, we have got this thing of we can't big up a player without putting the replacement down. It's a very weird thing we've got at the minute, and I don't know where that's come from. It's like you can't big up Kushinoff without giving Diaz a kick in the bollocks. I don't know why we do it. It's a weird thing.
It's the same with Docker and Grealish. It was the same.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Sane, you know, it goes back quite a while, to be fair.
It wasn't poor O'Reilly's fault. It was Pep who decided not to pick Gonzalez, not O'Reilly. It is what it is. And
but Nico G is not playing because Pep clearly doesn't think he's good enough to start. When Rodri is fit, Nico G is not going to play. So, you know, these people that keep saying, "Oh, we need to play Nico G and Rodri together." Pep's been quite clear. That's fine. That's your view. Great. Pep's been quite clear it's not going to happen. So there's no point keep rattling on about it. I do see that often mentioned. And the other one is, Nico G should be playing more. Well, okay, we'll take Rodri out then because that's the only way he's playing, right? We've agreed that. The only way he's playing is if Rodri is not playing. And even when Rodri isn't playing, he's barely playing. So we take Rodri out, we're considerably weaker. We saw that last night we missed Rodri against Burnley.
So you could be without Rodri for a little while.
I'm going to chuck this right out here, Andre. And this is right. I get fans are loving Nico G. I get it. But I'm going to ask the honest question. Do you thought maybe Pep doesn't rate him like some of the fans do? I know that's a real dodgy topic for some, but like I said, he's not even the backup to the backup anymore. And he's not going to be the 8 because, like I said, don't go and buy Elliot. I keep saying these debate, don't go and buy an Elliot Anderson or whoever. Then there's not a lot of trust being put into Nico G right now. And I'll be honest, I only saw this on the TV last night. Did anyone see Haaland, Bernardo, and Cherky bollocking him?
Yeah,
they bollocks him.
Yeah, he does often. Yeah.
Yeah, we know he's not. We know he's limited on the ball, but
I'm not trying to put Nico G down because I think he's a very good player. I think some people have overrated him. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think people are just frustrated because just as human beings, right? We like to know why, and unfortunately, we don't have nobody can just speed dial Pep and be like, "Why aren't you playing Nico G? Why isn't Nico G not in the field?" So everybody's just going to Twitter or whatever, and they're mad about it because they don't know why, right? And unfortunately,
but we don't know why Foden's been dropped. Why did Foden not get on the pitch again last night? Savio got on before Foden last night.
Yeah, that's my thing. For me, I understand why people wanted to see Foden, but I'm not going to put a uninformed player not in their natural position. That's just where if Foden was firing, I can see, okay, let's put him on the wing. Maybe he can get in good spots and score, and we can invert him. But he's not firing, so why would I put a guy not firing in a position he doesn't want to play in or hasn't played well at either? When you have a person on the bench who is a natural winger. How many people have told us we want players to be in their natural position? That's something we heard all last summer, right? We got guys playing out of position, put guys in position, they play better. But now we want, so that's how it is.
I think with Nico G, being brutally honest, is that I think he is a very good footballer. I think about what he did at the beginning of the season for us when Rodri wasn't available. We suddenly forget, some of us, that for the first half of the season, Nico G was doing a brilliant job in that midfield. Now, I'm not saying he was Rodri at all. He's got a long, long way to get to those kind of levels, if he ever does get to those levels. But he came in and did a really good job. Now, for Rodri to come back, he needed regular game time. And he's been sacrificed for Rodri to get back up to match fitness. And that's just something that's happened. And I think last night he came in cold. He hasn't played for a while, and he gave away some sloppy passes. I'm not going to blame a player who hasn't played regularly, for two bad passes. Do you know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, it's not fair to blame him when he hasn't had regular game time. So I think, that is the thing that's going to hold him back at the moment, is that Rodri is the main man, and Rodri needs to be played as much as possible to get back into match fitness. I think if he stays for next season, I think we'll see more, because Rodri is not going to be able to play the amount of games that he has in the past. At the moment, he is a squad player, and I think it would be silly to get rid of him right now, because he does a very good job when we need him to, most of the time when he gets regular game time. So with the amount of kind of what we need is a strong bench. And he's good to come off the bench and do a job when we need him to right now. We all remember when Rodri first came into this club, Fernandinho had to hold his hand and had to show him the ropes. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Rodri, but what I'm saying is that he needs time, and he's only had 1.5 seasons here, and he's not played as much. And if we're going to go on the whole, he needs it. Well, yeah, he might not be happy, and if he's not happy and he wants to go, then he may go. But what I'm saying is that he only has to accept at the moment just the way things are, and that's what happens with a lot of bench players. Some aren't happy, and some will go. Some will stay because they think they can challenge, or they're happy in that rotation. or not happy.
Well, he isn't
you know what I
happy
mean?
with the rotation.
Well, no, maybe not. But at the end of the day, he knew what he was coming into. You know, when he first joined, he knew he wasn't coming in to be the Rodri replacement. That was never promised to him. So
I'm going to be brutally honest. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's as good as many are making out.
But who's making
I think he's a squad player.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you. Exactly, Tom. That's my word, squad player.
But who's making out like he should be replacing Rodri? I don't think.
Well,
I've heard
people are
anyone
saying,
say
like,
that.
people in the chat saying he carried the team in the first half of the season.
No,
I think
I
I don't think he carried the team, but I think he definitely helped the team in the first half.
I think
Of
Bernardo
course.
helped him a lot.
He did a job.
We talked about it on shows.
Bernardo's been one of our best players second
Yeah.
half of the season and a mass reason why we're in this title race. Bernardo. Big up
People have
Bernardo.
got very, very short memories in what was being said in that first half of the season because people weren't bigging this team up like they were doing in that first half of the season. They weren't. People in the first half of the season were saying we weren't good enough.
Yeah,
And
the
we
first
were
few
weak
games
in
we definitely
midfield.
weren't good enough. But you know, coming into the Christmas run, you know, we weren't bad. We were doing quite well.
No,
I
I
Nico was a
understand
part
that,
of
but
that.
one of the biggest arguments we had was the midfield was soft and it was being run through.
Only a couple of games.
And now all of a sudden, that's now being forgotten about and ignored because that involves constructively criticising somebody that fans like. It's like a lot of people love the new players because the only players who get all the praise now are Cherky, Kushinov, Nico G. Everyone else is sort of ignored now. And there are legends of this football club that are stuck there that have just been ignored now. It's like there's a little bit of recency bias going on. It's like Diaz has been forgotten about. Foden's been forgotten about.
Clearly, Pep does not fancy Nico G. Okay, but that's a fact because he didn't start yesterday.
But people are saying Pep doesn't fancy Foden at the minute because they're saying he's not good enough. But if I say, well, he's not playing Nico G because Pep doesn't think he's good enough, it's like I've just slapped someone's mother in the face. I'm sorry, there is a separate thing for one player and other players are treated differently. And they've done it for 5 minutes and other players have done it for 7-8 years.
Look, if Bernardo and Rodri are fit, does anybody... If Bernardo and Rodri are fit for the final 5 games or 4 games or whatever it is, does anybody drop either of them for any of them Premier League games for anybody else in that midfield? Rodri and Byrne. They start every game, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
And they rightly start every game, not Nico G. Nico G for Bernardo is a downgrade. Nico G for Rodri is a huge downgrade. I like Nico G. But this thing of him starting, who's he starting over? Do you know what I mean? Where's he playing right now? And somebody said in the chat, Pep won't make that mistake again about not playing Nico G. I wouldn't, if he's not ready for Everton, I wouldn't bet on it. I really wouldn't, because Pep can be stubborn, I tell you. And if he thinks something will work, he'll go with the same 11 as yesterday.
Tell you what, Tom, you don't have to say where it's come from. What was you told about Nico G?
Well, just basically what we've been saying. That Pep,
on the spot.
Yeah, big time on the bloody spot. Just that Pep, a part of the Anderson stuff and all that. At the end of the day, people say, Anderson's a replacement for X, Y, and Z. I just think if Nico G is that good and as good as some people make out, not everybody, just some, and as great and brilliant as people make out, why the hell is City looking to even replace Rodri? Why are they looking to get Anderson? Why are they looking at 2 midfielders this summer? But apparently, I like Nico G. I was one of the ones who defended him when he used to get bloody hammered when he joined. But he's a squad player, and these people pushing for him to start. Tell me, when Rodri and Bernardo are fit, who's he playing in front of? and why? It can't be. But I've seen people say for Bernardo, it's like, I mean, Christ, what more does Bernie have to do?
No, listen, I think Nico's he's a good player. 100%. I think he's a very good player.
Yeah.
And with Tony, he's a squad player. For some reason, when I say squad player, I get shot like said something nasty about his family. I just don't get it.
There's nothing wrong with being a squad player.
People are taking it personal.
We need players on that bench, but I think what we definitely do need is players that are going to challenge the first 11 on that bench. Now, Nico has got to have that, that will, that mentality that he can, come in and challenge that 11. Now, if he doesn't feel that he can or doesn't want to, then he should go, But I do think that he's good enough to be in this team. He may not be right now a starting 11 player, but he's good enough to be in this team. And he has to decide if that's good enough for him right now or not.
All right, so is Omar Mamouche good enough to be in this team right now?
Yes.
Okay. Who else?
Would you start him against Everton?
To be in this team right now?
Hang on, are we asking whether he should start a game or is he good enough?
No, I'm trying to figure out who's good enough and who isn't and who's squad. I'm trying to understand where everybody is on what certain thing, because everyone's got this thing of he's good enough to start, but Mamouche good enough. So who are you going to drop Haaland for Mamouche?
So the two big problems with this question is that you're talking about two areas of the pitch where you talk about two of probably the best players in the world. You talk about Haaland and being his backup, which is just impossible to be. Now, do I think Mamouche is good enough to be his backup? Absolutely. He's a cracking, striker. We know it because we've seen what he can do. Is he going to replace Haaland? No. But would I want him to leave? No, because I think he's good enough to be the backup. He's good enough to come in and do a job if Haaland is either injured or not having, a good game. You know what I mean? He's definitely good enough to be that player. Whether he wants to be that is a different question. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. And
so is he good enough to dislodge Haaland?
But we're talking right now.
We're talking who in the world is good.
No. I'm not trying to do a trick question. This is what I'm saying. I think, unfortunately, some players are squad players and other players are starters.
The thing is that Mamouche would be a starter for probably any other club in the world right now. He's behind Haaland for a reason because Haaland is the best striker in the world, and that's Mamouche's biggest problem. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Mamouche starts for Arsenal.
Yeah, of course he does. He starts for PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal, Chelsea, all the big clubs in the world. United, he starts for them all. The reason he doesn't start for us is because we've got the best striker on the planet, which is Haaland. It's so difficult to be his backup. The same goes for Rodri, is that no one is good enough to be, in this squad, let alone the world, is good enough to be Rodri's backup. So it's really difficult to back up those two players. Now, when you're talking about the rest of the squad, those are debates we can definitely have because I think there are certain players that aren't good enough, maybe in the first 11. Do you know what I mean? So those are debates you can have. But those two positions, I think it's extremely hard to turn around and say that, like the Moosh or Nico G, definitely walk into the 11.
Big
Can you hear me, boys?
Yeah.
What I was going to say, I've said this before. You've got Donnarumma in the three positions: Donnarumma, Rodri, and Haaland. You're all going to have backup players, and all these squad players help through the season. Now we get to the business end. You play your best side.
Yeah.
There's no ifs or buts. We play your best side.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they help through the season. Squad players. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Correct.
I missed out Donnarumma, and that's another position that is, like you just said, it's extremely hard. We've got currently two probably, first team goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's but Donnarumma is the man who starts. Do you know what I mean? That's
Ash. You said that, and that's fair enough. That's a very good question. So why did they get Reinders? People don't rate Reinders.
Yeah, but you don't always know how good people are. You know, we're talking about the now. We don't know if Nico G is going to be Rodri in 2 years.
No, that's what I mean.
Look,
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be. We don't know. We can only go by what we've seen. Reinders is the same. After Wolves, we were all raving.
Well, he came in for Gundogan, let's be honest. You know, he was Gundogan's replacement because he seemed to be that box-crashing, box-to-box player that would come in and do what Gundo did, because that's why he was like at AC Milan. He got the plaudits for that.
Yeah.
Sadly, that really hasn't materialised for City very much. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he's currently good enough to be in the starting 11, and that's shown because he's not been on the pitch for the last few months.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
for me, out of him and Reinders, Reinders and Nico G to go right now, it's Reinders for me. Because I think Nico
as Martin said, some players do take a season to bed in, but they might not even get that chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Making that point before with Viana now, do you know what I mean? With Viana being a lot more ruthless and cheeky, you know, it may be that you don't get that year anymore like you used to. It may be that, you know, Viana and Pep have seen enough of Reinders, and they may turn around and go, sorry, mate, it hasn't worked out. You're a good player, but right now, you're just not the player we need and want. You know, it hasn't worked out. But sell him, you know, and he moves on.
Right,
so the same with Savio, isn't it? You know, we're giving Savio the match. You know, we did it with Doku. So,
I believe you're just pushing your own agenda. How's it? So my opinion is now an agenda. So I'm not allowed an opinion now, Andres. What you just told me is my opinion is banned. That's what you just told me. Nobody in the world can replace Big Earl and Rodra. You're quite right. However, if you're going to buy Anderson, Nico G is good enough to back up to Rodra, then why would the club look at like an Enzo? Why would they look at an Anderson? Why would they look at all these, a Tanala?
I got to say,
you don't need to buy them. You've got Nico G, is what you're telling me, Andre.
The thing, what I would say though, Martin, is I don't see either Anderson or, which I think is rubbish, is Tonali, either of them coming in and being the backup to Rodri. I think personally, yes, Anderson plays, you know, the number 6 for England, but he doesn't play that for Nottingham Forest. So I think personally, I think he's coming in, not as much as maybe you think, but I think he's more coming in as an 8, in all honesty. That's the way I see it. I see it more that he's going to be the Bernardo replacement and being in that 8 position rather than the 6 for Rodri. I don't think he's that player that we currently need. He's not a Rodri yet. I think he's a hybrid, definitely of an 8 and 6, but I think he's more of an 8 for Forest. I think that's probably what he'll come in as. And the same with Enzo. Enzo's not, you know, a natural number 6. He's more of an 8 who plays for Chelsea.
I would be staggered.
Nico G was the same, wasn't he? Nico G was an 8 when we got him.
But it's all right saying off like Nico G was an 8 when we got him. Yeah, so why is he suddenly now back up to Rodra? So what you're telling me is Nico G can move
changes players,
and Ali and others can't move positions.
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is
the narrative here.
No. What my narrative is that no one is a backup to Rodri because there isn't anybody in the world, I think personally, that can back up Rodri. I think you have to bring in a player that can hybrid as a 6 and 8 because you're going to want them to be able to move into other positions because Pep, as we know, loves players who are really versatile.
No, I agree.
Nico G can come in and take over Rodri.
When you don't
if Rodri is injured,
players.
No, we do because we're losing Bernardo Silva. We're losing Kovacic.
Right, so let's just do it like with not for like. Elliot Anderson takes over Bernardo, let's say, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Say they do go after Tonali. Where's Tonali going?
I don't think we're going after Tonali. I think that's rubbish.
Right, so we're just buying Elliot Anderson and that's it.
No, I didn't say that. I just don't believe we're getting Tonali. I don't think he's good enough for City.
I don't.
Those rumours are just...
So Tonali's not good enough for City and Nico G is?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but you're not going to convince me that Tonali's a better player than Nico G right now. I'm sorry.
One plays for his country, one doesn't.
I don't care. Spain have got a far better squad in the World Cup than Italy. So
It's your opinion.
The thing is, you've seen more of Tonali than Nico G. Haven't you?
I just think for a Pep system and a Pep style, I think Nico G is better for our system, the way we play, than Tonali. I don't think Tonali works. I don't think he's just good enough to be in a Pep Guardiola side. That's my opinion from everything I've seen him play. So
I mean, Nico G. I mean, how long's Pep been trying to mould Nico G into that position, and then to throw it away? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I personally think we're always going to have, if Nico G stays and Anderson comes in, you're always going to have those players to be able to rotate into Rodri's position if we need them to.
I just thought he was telling last night. I just thought he was telling last night he didn't start. I know he'd come on, but to me that was a bit of a wow.
Do you know what though? The argument I have against that tone, the argument I would really
agree with you, Tom,
is that he hasn't started a lot of games and Pep didn't want to change the team very much. He literally changed one player. He didn't want to get rid of O'Reilly. He wanted to bring O'Reilly into the midfield, and the best solution to coming at left back was Aït-Nouri.
But why change it, Ozzy? If O'Reilly's on fire at left back, why not make the one change Rodri for Nico G? Done. That's it.
But he did. He made that change in the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
Haaland been out of a jerky bollocks him when he come on.
Yeah,
but he did it in the.
He had a lot of game time. To be fair to him,
Ozzy, he did it in the Chelsea. He did it in the Chelsea game. He did it in the Chelsea game where I think the writing was on the wall. Putting Kovo on before Nico G. That was telling you.
Listen, I'm not saying you're all wrong.
I like him.
Yeah, I think he's a good player, and I don't think the criticism on him is. I think it's too much. You know what I mean? From a guy who hasn't played very much.
What we're saying is, I think you and others are overhyping him.
You're not overhyping him.
He's never going to be Rodri's. For me, he's not good enough to replace Rodri. No.
But I don't think he's right now at all. I agree with you. But we all said this about Rodri when he came in and was coming in as Fernandinho's replacement.
Yeah, we do. But I wouldn't pigeonhole him. We do pigeonhole players. And when Pep gets hold of these players, he changes them. So for me, he should still play in the 8, not the 6.
Yeah.
I don't think Nico G is a bad player. 100%. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think the truth's somewhere in the middle. But my question is, don't go and buy these other players then. You don't go and spend 80, 90 million on players for them to sit on a bench.
You've got to have players though, Martin, like on the bench. It's a squad game, mate. You've got to have the players.
I know. No, I'm not going to go back into this debate, but you've seen the players who've been linked to go to leaving are the ones who are not playing because they're not happy. That's just facts. I know it's wrong. I know, yes, I'm with you. I would love to have a big squad like we. Trouble is, Mamouche, look at Mamouche's face. Aït-Nouri got sub last night. Did you see his face?
Yeah.
I was going to give him a rattle and a bottle of milk.
Yeah.
This is the problem because they're not. People going about Oscar Bob couldn't wait to get out.
But that's how they should be, though, Martin. They should be moaning, you know.
Yeah, they should be moaning. They should be upset.
I want to play,
come off.
Yeah, but then they leave.
That's right.
Yeah, and so why are you saying Rico Lewis should get game time then, Ozzy?
Have we mentioned Rico Lewis? Have I mentioned?
Well, Rico Lewis is on the bench and he's not playing.
He's not getting on the bench.
He's not in the picture.
I'm not even going to talk about Rico Lewis because he's just not even on the team sheet at all.
No.
So I talk about players that are currently either in the starting 11 or on the bench.
Yeah,
we have just a lot of players in the summer, Martin, and they're going to have to be replaced. We can't. The players that we just talked about, like Stones, Ake, Kovacic, you know, maybe Marmouche, maybe Trafford, maybe Reinders, now maybe Nico G. That's more than half the bench. You know, either you've got to replace all those players, or some of them are not going to go, and you're going to replace some of them because that's just the way it goes.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
not everyone can go. Totally agree. Listen, we're going to move because I don't want to go. Listen, people won't think I've got an agenda on Nico G. It's fine.
Yes.
I got told a month and a half ago he was better than Rodri. Do you know what I mean? You can't overhype a player because I'm saying the truth is in the middle. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter what I say. Mario, Zenga, house captain, Ozzy, Bill down the road. Pep Guardiola's choosing. At the minute, Pep Guardiola's not choosing him. So send your emails and your complaints to Manchester City Football Club. Because Pep's the one not started him. But what I don't like is when a young lad who's been our player of the season gets shit because of it. That's the wrong part.
PFA young
It's
player
not
of the
Nico
year.
Riley's fault because Nico G got picked out of Nico G.
I'll be shocked.
And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Nico Riley deserves the praise because he's been our best fucking player this year. Someone else I thought was quite poor last night. People are going to go mad at me. Thought Cherky wasn't great last night. Thought he got caught out doing flicks and tricks way too much, and he got caught twice yesterday doing it.
Semenyo wasn't.
I thought
Semenyo
Kushner was our best player last night. I like Semenyo. Other people have criticised him. I thought he was rinsing their fullback in that first half. There was one of them, he had two defenders around him, he pirouettes on the byline and takes them all on.
Yeah, I didn't think he played well, but he's been brilliant this season. One game. Oh,
yeah.
He starts,
I don't know because Semenyo scored. You know, Semenyo scored more goals for Manchester City than Doku and Savinho combined. But Semenyo gets shit. But he scored more goals than Doku and Savinho all season, just for Manchester City. Not for.
I wish Semenyo had Savio's touch.
Yeah, he touched like it, but he's put the ball in the back of the net.
Oh, we're not doing Tonali's crap, are we? I don't think he's 100 million, but our people saying Tonali's poor.
He's not poor, but he's not good enough for City. I don't.
Hi, Martin. Sorry, Ozzy, didn't Baz say he's been having some bad games along the way?
Yeah, they said he's checked out.
Yeah, I was going to say he's had his head turned.
Nico G is better than Tonali. I'm not sure opinions, Zenga. It's absolutely fine. I'm not saying you've got an agenda, though. What happens to Reinders? Very good question. That's another one. I think this is what's causing a lot of the
Wait a minute. Did somebody say Nico G is better than a player that plays consistently for their
Nico G is better than
team
Tonali. Yeah.
that has been in part of one of the midfields that we say is the best midfield in the Prem? Like, do people forget? We said Newcastle had one of the best midfields in the Prem, right? We said that like last season.
Tonali is very overrated.
We said he was part of one of the best midfields in the Prem. When it was Bruno G.
He's good. He's a good player.
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
I don't know because I don't. I mean, that midfield for Newcastle, I don't think has always had Tali in it. Do you know what I mean? I think Nico G and Anderson have been the players that have really made that midfield. I think he's added to it, but I don't think he's anything special.
He's been more consistent in that midfield.
Look at Real Mario here with his agendas. Shaky was just trying to give pleasure. I like it. He was just trying to make us all pleasure in the away end.
Can I just put it out there? Who I would like for maybe the Bernardo job is Scott from Bournemouth.
Alex Scott.
I think he's a great player.
Standards.
And I think he could do the job. Scott from Bournemouth.
Real Mario was going to come back at you now in the chat. I do not want Alex Scott. He's a bum. He doesn't get me excited.
But I like him as a player. Good player.
Yeah. Do you know who I actually like to look at? Now, I'm not saying that he's a definite direct replacement right now, but he's Matthias Fernandez.
Bingo. No thanks. Told you.
Fernandez.
Which Fernandez?
Matthias at West Ham.
Oh, the guy at West Ham.
Right.
Yeah. I think he's really done well. I'm not saying he's
I want
an
Anderson.
replacement. I'm just saying I think as a player,
Yeah.
I think he's a good player.
I want Anderson. That's the one I want in. I know.
I mean,
we
by
can
the
link
way,
with him,
they're
but
not
he's the
going to.
one I
There
want
is.
in.
They're not going to. I'll ignore some of these prices that are being quoted today.
Oh yeah, that's just
They're not.
yeah.
People are just chucking stuff around at the minute.
Yeah, we
transfer
know
time.
people like to say a price now just to sound good, just so they can, that's what always happens this time of the season.
Well, so they can say to the fans and turn around and say, "Look, we tried to keep hold of him, but we couldn't." You know what I mean?
It wouldn't
It's the
surprise
same
me,
old. We
Tony,
know
if there is a
routine.
release clause in Anderson's contract, because the way it's sounding is that I think City are being very negotiable. That they're not directly trying to negotiate right now with the club, but I think behind the scenes with Anderson and his representatives, I think that is all going very, very smoothly. So I think they wouldn't be getting to that kind of level if they didn't feel that the deal was going to get done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and I think for that and the way, because we know what the Nottingham Forest owners like when it comes to negotiating, it just feels to me that this could be a release clause, and I think it'll be like 80 mil or something like that would have been put in.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
definitely. I agree with you. I think it'll probably end up around 80 mil. It'll be somewhere around there. It ain't going to be 100 and 125. He will not move. No one's paying that. So
not even United.
If the owner, well, yeah, they might. But if the owner,
no, I don't think even United would pay that. In all honesty.
No, I think if the owner of Forest does stand by, because he is a bit of a nutter by the sounds of it, and says 125 will you stay, and the player will have to kick off to get out, because he'll have to literally damn tools and say, I ain't playing, mate. So, yeah.
I'm laughing at M11's quote. Governor wants Alex Scott. I want James Garner for squad rotation. Jesus.
You know what?
This is going to be a
players
key
coming
word,
in.
Squad rotation.
These players coming in, we might have a totally different. We might play a totally different system next season. Like,
yeah,
I can say Maresca's
to suit the players.
Plays three at the back, drags one of the midfielders back into the back line to make it a back four. He has two flying fullbacks that go bye-bye, and he presses the fuck. He plays the highest line, presses the fuck out of the midfield, and there you go. That's Maresca's tactic.
I was listening, Martin. I was listening early on. Yeah, I was listening early on, and I agree 100% with Ozzy about Pep. I don't think they're going to build this side up for him for someone else to take over it.
Thanks, Governor.
I really don't. I can't see it.
Unless he's a part of the build. Unless he's a part of the build.
Who's picking the side at the moment, Governor? Because the
we
players we bought recently, Pep ain't playing.
Yeah, well, yeah, but also you can't not build the squad because Pep may or may not stay. The team needs rebuilding no matter who's in charge.
Of course it does, but I don't agree with Martin saying that a lot of the players that have recently come in aren't playing. You know,
they're not.
Well, hang on a minute. Semenyo, Gahey, Cherky.
Right, Semenyo and Gahey were Pep signings.
Don't do that, Martin. We gotta stop saying this was Pep's guy.
No,
that's Rihanna's guy. We gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop doing that.
About Gahey.
Hang on a minute. Whoa. I said Gahey and Semenyo, right? Is Reinders playing, Ozza?
I'm sorry, but Viana signed the players. I'm not saying Pep doesn't have any influence.
Reinders? That's where it's wrong. Pep should have a massive input in the signings.
But if Pep said, I need a centre-back right away, or as Viana said, you need a centre-back.
I don't agree. This is why managers, Ferguson would not allow the chief exec to buy players. He'd tell him to fuck off and do his job. Sign the checks, there's a good boy.
We know that's not how football clubs operate anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
That's fine doing that. Why did Maresca leave Chelsea? And you want to bring in Maresca? If Maresca comes in, he won't last long.
Martin, that's the stream.
That's Chelsea. That's Chelsea.
That's Chelsea.
We don't work that way.
Hang on, you can't sit there and go that. It came out.
We don't tell Pep who to sub. We don't
Stop.
tell Pep.
Stop.
Come on.
1 minute. 1 minute. Let me explain. Before you'll jump like a pound of pack of hyenas, right?
That's because you're looking like a tasty T-bone right now, mate.
No, I'm not, because
You
I
really
understand football, because I used to be a coach.
Okay,
I
so
was.
get your badges out.
At the end of the day, okay, Elsa, but stick my football knowledge against yours and win 3 times on a Sunday, mate. But at the end of the day, right, any manager worth his salt does not have the chief exec picking the players for him. Because the manager has to pick them teams, pick the formation, and play them how he wants. It's not football manager. I'm sorry. And you can say I'm old, and that's old style and everything else. You can do what you want. Maresca, and it came out in the court proceedings or the legal proceedings from it, that was one of the main reasons he walked out of Chelsea, because he was being told who to buy. And he said, I'm not.
So what you're saying, Martin, is all the players that are not getting a game, right, are not Pep signings because they're not getting a game.
Well, Pep's already on record as saying, I didn't know who Mamouche was fully. I had to go and research him. That was on Sheikah.
Is Foden not one of Pep's guys?
Well, hang on. Right. If you're going to jump in at me one at a time, let me finish the conversation, Ed.
He was already there.
We can go through the list.
Pep signings.
Pardon?
Is Trafford not one of Pep signings?
We don't know what was going on with Trafford, do we? Okay. Something's gone wrong there. We know that. Point I'm making is, you look, when we bought them players in January of 2025, we bought Kushinov, we bought Vic Tays, we bought Nico Gonzalez, we brought Omar Mamouche. Right? Other than Kushinov, who's playing right now?
Why is Kushinov playing, though?
Because Gabardio's injured at the minute.
And
Viana chooses. No. Viana chooses the players. Viana buys the players. Make no mistake, but Pep will definitely get a say. And I know Pep says, "Oh, I don't get involved." He bloody well does. There is no way we are buying any player, and I don't care what he said about Mamouche. He must have been joking or something. There's no way Pep will not know the players he's going to have before they come in. There's no way Mamouche turns up on Monday and he goes, "Who the hell's this?"
Yeah,
there's no way.
No,
I agree. We're not Chelsea.
Viana goes out and gets the players. Yeah. Pep will have some say, obviously.
Yes.
Viana's a sporting director, and he makes the decisions. He goes out there, he scouts these players, he brings them back to Pep and says, "This is a player that I think could be good." And Pep will go yes or no, and that's the way it'll go. I don't think Viana has. Yeah. No, I'm saying I don't think Viana turns around and says who's playing in the first 11. I don't think he, has that control like they did at Chelsea. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure.
But guys, I'm allowed my opinion. If I don't think the chief exec should be buying the players, I don't think the chief exec should be buying the players.
So you don't want Viana to buy players? That's my opinion,
and I'm not going to change it.
Okay.
I think it's stupid. No one's saying that. I think it's stupid. And you end up with silly things because it's now come out of Liverpool. Slot didn't ask for all them players he got in the summer. So you're now seeing the problems.
When we had Cheeky involved and he was buying the players,
it was done with a analytical team that was consisted of Cheeky, Soriano, Omar Barada, Pep Guardiola.
From Man City's official site, they say Hugo Viana is the new director of football at Manchester City, and I'll skip a bit. He says he joined Sporting to oversee the Manchester City's operations, including recruitment. So he's obviously, big part.
And I don't agree with that. So.
And that's fine, but it's his job, and
because what you end up for me. Yes, they should. A chief exec or whatever for me should negotiate. You should sit down as a group and go, right, what style do you want to play as a manager? I want to play this style, A, B, and C. Yeah. What players would you like to suit your style? I would like that, and that. The manager, he goes away and tries to get those players. not the manager.
But he has scouts.
I said,
yeah, but the scouts,
Yeah.
the scouts will go to Viana.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You think they should just bypass Viana? It should be the scouts just going to Pep. Is what you're saying?
No, because
no.
You see, you miss. What I'm trying to say is, do you understand what a chief exec's job is?
Yeah, I know.
Right. He goes to the other chief execs at the football club. We're interested in a player. Yeah. Then they open negotiations. A football manager has nothing to do with negotiations. They may speak to the player to say, would love you here, come here, love you, brilliant. That's their bit done. They have no say on negotiations. They have no say on wages. They have no say on contract length. They just give, that's my point.
That's what Viana does.
Players, to me, that's dead man walking on a manager. Because they're not picking them players on a match day. Like you, Oz, in the job you do, and I won't go into it, being told you're going to have a repairman, this and you got a team of people around you. You're in charge of it, but you can't choose your team that's around you. You'd be peeved off with that, right or wrong.
But I'm not saying that's what Viana does. Viana does what
you just said. Viana buys all the players. You just said
he does buy all the players. But I haven't said that he does it solely, and Pep has no influence and has no say. I've not said that. I've said what exactly you just said, that he goes out, he speaks to the scouts, he gets these players, he has an idea of what Pep wants, and then brings these players, profiles back to Pep and says, these are the 5 players I've got for midfield, these are the 5 players I've got for goalkeeper. And then they have a discussion, and then Cheeky goes out and gets them.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, out of the signings we've made recently, Gay and Semenyo out because they've only come in the last 3 months. Yeah. And they're playing. The ones we've signed beforehand are not playing. There's only Cherky from the summer.
But the thing is, as we said, the likes of Mamouche is never going to take over from Harmon because we've had that discussion. Nico G is the same with Rodri, and the same can be said, as Governor said, when it comes to Donnarumma and Trafford. But the other players are totally up for grabs when it comes to why they're not starting. And you're only talking about Reinders, Savio, Doku, and Ain't Nori.
When it comes down to, can I just say, my connection might be bad, but is my connection bad?
No, you're fine, mate.
Obviously, Pep and Viana are on the same, got to be on the same page. Viana looks for the players, and then Viana must ask Pep, what kind of player do you want? Who do you want? And they talk, that's the whole point. They're on the same page. Pep's not looking at players, Viana is.
No, so that's what I'm
got
saying.
To be on the same page. That's it.
No, I agree. It should be done as a team. But what I'm saying is, at the minute, more than ever, the recent signings we've made are the ones that we're not playing a lot. All I'm saying is that's a concern to me because it's never happened before. When we made all them signings in January 2025, if you look, by March, none of them new players were playing. We were back to Gundogan, Akanji, etc. That got us third in the league.
But we also have to remember why that happened, though, Martin, because Pep was relying on some of those players way too much.
Yes, that's
he admitted that himself.
But it got us third.
I'm not saying it didn't, Martin, but at the same time, we've talked about it so many times about the transfer business over the period of when we've done the treble. It wasn't good enough. And that's why we got into that position in January where we got the likes of Mamouche, Nico G, Kuzanov and Victor Race, because we needed those players at the time. We needed bodies, and those are the players that were available that we could get. And some have worked out, and some are still yet to prove themselves, like the likes of Vico Race.
Oh, that's my point, Blue. I know that's simplistic, but it is. Like ordering a pizza and you put your own toppings on. The guy on the phone don't tell me, what bloody toppings I should be getting on my pizza.
Yeah, but Martin, you say about the new players not playing much. Half of that bench yesterday was Stones, Ake, Foden, Kovacic, who've been here a long time. They're not getting game time. None of them lot are playing. Stones isn't even getting in the squad now when he's not.
No, yeah.
Right.
And who were
I
the
mean,
others?
Gonzalez, who did come on.
Right, so
and
Gonzalez,
Sabine.
recent signing. Remember what I said? I said, Tom, recent signings.
Yes, but we're not giving up on them because we know. Yeah,
No, I'm not. I'm
or
not.
more.
I'm not. Never said. See, you're putting words in my mouth. Never said I was giving up. You're not. You're saying you're going. I'm not saying I'm giving up.
Yo, I'm jealous, Governor. I'm jealous of that
I'm
back.
asking the question: why is it the newish players that are on the bench, other than Kushinoff and Cherka?
I think, Martin, the players on the bench, they're not there. They're not there tactically. I think they're there for actual injuries. Do you know what I mean? They're actually there. Stones and people like that, they'll come on if there's injuries. I don't think they're there for tactical reasons.
That's a lot of money for buying injury case players, isn't it?
Well, I mean, no, I mean, I'm talking about Stones, the people that are going out. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we know Stones is going out, yeah.
I mean, Ake's more likely going as well.
Yeah.
But Ake and Stones were always, when they were fit in their prime, they always played.
Kovacic.
Right, superb, but mine, it was obvious that Johnny wasn't Pep signings. That's what I'm saying. That's all I said.
Also, Martin, do you think we shouldn't get rid of one of them, say, unks, because there's a lot of experience going out? Do we keep hold of one?
Ake is the
I
one.
would like to keep hold of him, yeah. I don't want to get rid of all these players. I would keep Nico J. If, like I said, if Nico J is happy to be a squad player, then keep him.
Yeah, yeah.
My question is, I'm not sure he's going to be happy to be a squad player.
The problem is he may not have much choice because out of the players that we've listed, some of them are definitely going or could go before the likes of Nico G, and that may be just the case that he may have to spend another year on the bench, whether he likes it or not, because he's under contract. And if we're going to lose other critical players, the likes of, like you said, Governor's experience, he may not have no choice but to stay. Do you know what I mean? He may be unhappy with that, but I'm sorry, you signed a contract. You came to the club knowing what you were coming into. You were never coming in as first team football. He was never coming in to replace Rodri.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's that. It's, you know, we would all like to leave our jobs sometimes, but, you know, we're under contract and we can't just drop.
Yeah.
We'd like to go. Do you know what I mean?
And
So,
just to say on that starting 11, sorry, Ozzy, yesterday, of new players, recent signings, Donnarumma, Kusanov, Gehi, Ait Nuri, Semenyo, Cherki. That's over half the team. So that I think Viana's done a good job.
Right. So, Ait Nuri's not played a lot this year, would you agree?
He has been injured, though, to be fair.
And AFCON.
And he's been at AFCON. And when he has played, he hasn't played badly, Martin. Like, he's played quite well at times.
The point I'm making is, I think you've all misunderstood this. I'm going back to the January 2025 window.
But Martin,
talk
about January, we signed 4 players. Victor Rice is currently out on loan.
Yeah.
Mamouche, who was never going to take over Haaland. Nico G, again, bench. And Kushinoff, realistically, the only reason Kushinoff is where he is currently is because Diaz and Josko are out. I think if they were both...
That's what I said earlier. That earlier.
But it's his time to shine, and that's what he's doing right now.
No, I agree. I'm not denying that.
But you said the January signs didn't work out. But they have worked out, Martin, because they've all done a job, apart from Victor Rice, because he's on loan.
I just don't want to spend 110 million for sitting on the bench.
Put it this way.
Maybe I'm being a cheapskate then.
But Martin,
sorry, put it another way.
Cheap on players, like these players are going to cost money, like, and especially in a January market, they were always going to cost even more money because we needed them because of where we were at the state of last season.
Sorry, Ozzy. Put it another way. What if these players are happy to sit on the bench, but upstairs are they saying we're paying him 300 grand a week? He should be getting a game. Why is he sat on the bench? But these players might be happy to sit on the bench. It might be from upstairs they're getting the pressure. You know, we're paying him 300 grand a week. He's not getting a game. You see it from that angle?
I think the only one who's close to 300, I don't think he's getting 300, is
Well,
Marmoush.
just an example, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, speak from that angle, coming that way.
Yeah, but
they might be happy to sit on the bench.
But as Martin said, like, you know, you're coming in, you're a squad player, like that's just the name of the game. If you want to prove yourself, then you've got to show it in training. You've got to show it when you get your opportunity, when you come on or start.
Yeah, you know. I know what you're saying, Martin. I agree what you're saying, Martin. You've got 250 grand sat on the bench and all that, but if they're happy to sit on the bench, you know.
I mean, you look at like a team like Arsenal, you know, who apparently have got 2 world-class players in every position. Are you telling me all their players on the bench are happy? Are you talking when Chelsea have got 2 billion worth of players? Are you telling me all their players are happy to be on the bench? I mean, this is just the way football is. It's a squad game. You have to have players on the bench. And honestly, you want players, if they get subbed or they're not playing, you want them to be upset. You want them to be angry that they're not starting.
And they have to be good replacements. They can't be, you know, everyone says about, the drop-off when so-and-so.
Yeah.
We don't want the drop-off. So when Haaland goes off, of course Marmoush isn't Haaland, but the drop-off isn't so huge that you're like, oh my God, what is this shit? Marmoush is a good player. Like when Doku goes off and, okay, Savinho gets pelters and Foden and so on, but it's not such a mass drop-off that it's like, Jesus Christ. We've got a squad of a very talented squad that is in the midst of being in a rebuild. I think we've done most of it. I just think we need a bit of tweaking. I mentioned that long list of players.
So you make me laugh because when we speak on the phone, you speak so differently. You don't have flip flop when you get on here.
What I will say, Tony, is I disagree with you about some of the positions as a backups because I think when Semenyo isn't on the pitch when he's playing at his best, I think when he has to come off when we have to. If he doesn't start or he's injured or we need to rotate, I don't think currently we've got a good enough players to be in the placing the likes of Savinho. I think Doku has come a long way, but as Martin said, output for goals just isn't good enough.
Shocking, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
I think Doku may not get enough goals, but he definitely adds something that is valuable to this team. But in all honesty, the output from both wingers, especially Savinho, isn't good enough. It needs to be better.
I'll call you out. No, you what he set up there, Mr. Curtain Boy. I'll call you out.
Curtain Boy.
Oh, Nina, do you not flip-flop?
I never flip-flop, mate.
Read your list out again. Read your list out again. Who's got question marks on for the summer? You were told by a certain someone.
No. This was my list. I went through the squad.
On the phone.
No. It was this. Was
okay, Rico. Yeah. Okay. They're old.
Reese or Rice, whatever. Echeverry, Foden, Kovacic, Nico G, Rodri, Reinders, Savinho, Marmoush, and Pep. That's 12.
And how many of them are newish players that are sat on the bench? You said are happy to be squad rotation.
One.
So I'm asking the exact same question you're
3.
asking. You've just put it in a more polite way. You've got Marmoush on the list. You've got Reinders on the list. You've got Nico G on the list. Trafford you've got on the list as well.
But
so how am I saying anything different to you?
But hang on, you're making it sound like a bloody transfer list. I'm just saying there are some questions. There is a question about Marmoush's future. There is, because teams want him. He's not playing, so there's going to be questions.
Aston Villa want him.
Yeah, Reinders, AC Milan want him back. There's question marks. He ain't playing here. So Nico G's the same. You know, there are question marks there. I'm more worried about Foden.
And that's all I've asked. And I got murdered for this for 25 minutes of you lot.
You haven't got a politician's.
No. Martin, this is the way you frame it, right? It's about how you frame it. Yeah. You frame it like Viana and Pep, right? And Viana is the one making all these poor decisions. Right, but Pep has no impact on the signings. He has no impact on.
No. All right, I'll say it as it is. From the information I have been told, reportedly, there has been a bit of friction between Biana and Pep. And Tone knows that as well, if he's not going to be honest, but he won't be. I know he won't be for the show.
I'm not flip-flopping.
But there was a little bit of friction.
I would be shocked. I would be shocked if there wasn't at times, to be honest.
That's all I'm saying.
I think
You can't be too nice all the time.
To get on. Like, that's just, it doesn't happen. Everyone has disagreements. So I'm not surprised to hear that.
Exactly. I've just explained it. Biana and Pep have had a bit of friction between each other, reportedly.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying.
I'm not just going to wout my soul straight onto the show.
Yeah, of course.
It's called confidence and respect, mate.
But this is what we're talking about, right? Like, there's going to be some friction because he's a new guy coming in. He has different methods, whatever, right? But I'm saying we can't say Biana has done a poor job when you're on track to win a domestic treble.
I never said he's doing. Hang on a minute. You lot all wanted fucking Pep sack 4 weeks ago in the team.
Who's you?
did?
Nobody on this show wanted Pep sack.
Toad's not the source. Ed, question: how many players were you selling in January? Sorry, in the summer.
Oh, first of all, my number included Rico Lewis, John Stones, Bernardo, Kova, right? Trafford, right? It wasn't, like I had a lot of players. I had Ake, right? I had, I'm not a big, Reinders. Yes, you guys want to give him more time. So
Reinders is on it. See, the problem is here, we've come into the show.
He's on my list, Martin.
Pardon?
He's on my list, Reinders. I said a couple of weeks ago he'd be shot out of a cannon for me.
What's the book?
He's gone. He's hosting.
I was the one.
You can get it wrong sometimes.
If we're being honest here, you're the one, Martin, that called me crazy when I gave you my number. And yet,
what you've established is the old
Spartacus in the chat said I was crazy. I was ridiculous. I was playing FIFA. I didn't know what I was talking
Big up, Blue. Love you, mate. Guys, what you've established is this lot like to play devil's advocate in a show and make me look like a bit of a dick for 20 minutes. Is what they like. We've established this now. When the players I've got on the list with question marks is all the players they've got on the list with question marks.
I don't think any of us have not said that, Martin.
It's the way we say it.
Have you been killing me?
Yeah, it's the way you frame it, Martin. We're talking about your frame.
The way you exactly, Ed. It's the way you frame it.
I'll put it in a nice way, then, shall I?
Yes, please. Yes, bloody please.
Put it in the way how you talk about Foden. That's how we want you to talk about everything. Okay? Anyway.
Well done, Ed.
I'm Foden FC. I love
Foden. Be a proper happy clapper, Ed.
Yeah.
Don't you be slagging my Philly, but don't be slagging my Philly Willie off.
Well, you think he's going, Martin, so.
Don't be slagging my Philly Willie off now.
Pause. We're not using that term.
Give me six. Phil Foden's earned my respect and he's earned my credit in the bank.
Isn't it mad that Foden's gone?
Big up, boss.
Sorry,
speak to you soon.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got to go, guys. But thanks for everyone watching. Catch you all later.
See us.
Take care.
Whoa, Steve, calm down.
Foden's gone from first name on the team sheet to literally bareliest bloody squad player. I mean, he's on the verge of being dropped out the bloody squad when the squad's fit. What the hell is going on with him?
It's mad, It is mad with some of it. I think this is why, and by the way, people think I've been I'm not trying to be, LB said, I'm asking questions at the minute because I'm a bit confused with what's going on. We were never the team that allowed a Rodri or a Foden to get to 1 year of a deal. We were never the team that brought players in and then there was questions. We were the team that allowed every player to have a year, do you remember? Oh, they're going to have a year. They need a year to bed in and just relax. I've seen Semenyo been called shit. He's been here 4 months. Ruben Diaz is finished. People are moving Guardiola all over the pitch just so they don't drop cushion off. Donnarumma was the best thing since sliced bread. Now everyone wants him dropped. And I've never seen so much moving around as there is at the minute. And I think it's played with my brain. I think it's fried my brain. Because I'm used to a Mahrez being here for 6 years. I'm used to a players staying 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, not have question marks over their head after 12 months.
I think, mine, what it is, we've got that good a player. We want to keep him as long as we can, you know.
And I think also it's like, I think there is a lot of question marks just because of everything that is turning over when you're just talking about the back room, the manager. And I think we haven't, like you said, we haven't been used to that for 10 to 12 years, right? So when we see all these moving pieces, we're naturally just going to be concerned, right? Because that's not our norm.
Spartacus for the 14th. You, sir, are a superstar. Thank you very much. Luke, not my lifetime. Go and show, not my lifetime. A lot of love, 22 months. And Joshua, he earned with the 3 months. Thank you, mate. Really do appreciate that.
But I do think it's fair to say that maybe the club has not handled these transitions well. I think that is fair to say with what we're seeing right now, with a lot of question marks all happening at the same time. Could things have been handled before? Some more stuff been handled before Tiki left? Because we all said when Viana came in, he has a lot on his plate, a lot. So.
I think that's what it is with me. I think it's not I'm not trying to be a dick or dramatic. I think I'm seeing City differently than when we've been in the last. Me and Trevor talked about it. We talked last night in the space. And Trevor, if you want to jump on, let me know. I'll show you the link. We are doing. Well, me and you spoke about this earlier, Tone. We used to buy a player, like I said, we give them 12, 18 months to settle in. We never used to spend £55 million on the player of the year in Italy and then suddenly just bench him forever and never see him. That was very un-City-like. We never used to get linked to 16 and 17-year-olds and go and splash 40 million on them.
Martin, maybe it's the certain players being awkward. That's why they can't get these deals done.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like 100 million for Jack has turned everything upside down. I don't know what it is. I just feel that there's just changes that maybe I'm trying to get my head around a little bit here of, it's a lot of money on, like someone said the other day, 40 million on a 16-year-old. I never fucking thought we'd ever do that. Never.
Yeah. Game's changing it ever more, mate. Man United.
And I think I'll be honest, I think I'm a bit scared of where we're going in the future.
Yeah, but United spent 90 on Anthony, 40 on bloody Xerxes.
But I don't want to be like United. That's my issue, Tone.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you. In the last 6 to 12 months, I've seen, not that I think we're doing it a lot, but I think this is just my opinion, and you're going to kill me in the chat for this. We're kind of slowly just going, we're not on the path, but we're sliding, going into the pathway of a United and a Chelsea and the errors they made.
Chelsea. Ooh.
No, because United used to buy a player and then turn them over 12 months later.
Like a Real Madrid, like a Barcelona.
Yeah, we never did that. We were always patient and we let things lie. We didn't used to just buy players and just bench or give up on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's something. How so? In terms of like United used to buy a player and then they get rid of him for a loss 12 months later. We'd always give them 12, 18, 2 years to bed in, get used to it. We wouldn't keep going spending until we got the right thing, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Andrew? We'd sort of let it all plan out a little bit because we were always good at planning. I just feel maybe that season where we were struggling for top 4, maybe it panicked a few people. I don't know. Maybe it panicked.
Well, I think just because we delayed a lot of business, now we're doing so much catch up to get the squad in a good place. Because remember, in that squad, that after that treble winning team, we've already did 10 plus players. You know, I think we're used to seeing 2-3 players go, but when you put that on the back burner for a year or two, you're going to have this max exodus of players coming in and out because you're trying to get back to where you have a core, you have the people around the core, which I do think we have a core. I think we have a core of players, and we're just trying to get the squad to the point where we like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I've got to go, guys.
We are going to talk Southampton. I might be doing it on my own. I am going to change the thumbnail because we didn't even bloody well go to where we were meant to go with it. Because by the way, I do blame Tom because Tom wanted to go down this road tonight. He was all like, "Get me on! I'm all excited to talk about this." Wasn't you?
Love a gossip. Love it.
I wanted to talk about the treble, potential treble, and what we can win and how we were going to do it. And Tom's got very excited today.
We can do it now, man. I think me and Governor can stay on with you for a little while longer.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Thanks, Mark, for having me on. All the best.
I can't hear you.
Not happy with you, Mr. Tone. Not happy with him. Fucking set me up tonight.
Martin, I'm going to have to go because I can't hear you, and I've just gone with a new provider, and this is crap, this. I can't even hear you.
No worries, mate. No worries. Me and Ed will do it. I don't know if Trev wants to come on or Spark.
I can't even hear
you. Can you not even hear us? Let me see if I can invite a couple of people on. Don't worry, Governor. You go and sort yourself out. Let me see if I can add. Right, where you at? Let's talk about Southampton. How are you going to make changes?
I think we saw with the squad, we probably do need to make a few changes, especially because after Southampton, yes, we do have like a week time period, but after that, it's going to be pedal to the metal. So I think if you want to get some players a rest, this will probably be the game to do it. If not now, it will be never. So I think we're going to see a few changes. I don't know if Bernardo Silva will start out just because of I think you might want to give him a rest. O'Reilly, you probably want to give a rest. It's unfortunate we can't give Nunes a rest just because we don't have a backup right back. But those are probably the main guys I'm looking at. I don't know if maybe you want to do Haaland. I've seen some people say you might want to give Doku a rest just because of the injury issues at times. But I wouldn't make too many changes. I'll probably say a couple. Just a couple.
Good evening, Spartacus. Hope you're well.
Not bad. How about you guys?
Good. How do you see Saturday?
I mean, they should be winning, right? Like, realistically, yeah. Southampton are a very decent side, but we're fighting for the league, so we should be beating the championship level team.
Yeah. And I said earlier that they're one of their main players, Flynn Downs. I'm about to look up his stats right now, but I saw he got a 3-game suspension. So and that's going to be a big loss for them.
I'm not going to pretend like I watch them, right? Because I don't. But I mean, realistically, if you're trying to win a league, you should be able to beat the championship level side. I don't think this is being arrogant.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The last time they lost was a long time ago. It was January when they last lost, you know.
Yeah, they've got the biggest winning streak in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. But it's me saying that we should be beating them doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy game. Like, it might be a 1-0 struggle or a 2-1 struggle, but I do think at the end of the day we should be coming out on top.
Yeah. No, I hear it. I just see. I felt they did look a little bit tired the other night. I think they did look tired. I think that was part of the reason they were a bit not quite at it. not fully at it, if you know what I mean. But I do feel as though they were a little bit tired. And I think maybe one or two players deserve a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, I think we should be able to still win the game if we change a couple of players, right? Like maybe put in a Reinders, maybe put in a Savio on the right to rest Mamouche, not sorry, to rest Semenyo, because I think he's looking pretty poor the past few games. Maybe bring on Nohi in for Nico Riley so that he can rest a little bit. Bring in everybody's gonna love this, but bring in Nico G, even though I'm not his biggest fan in the 6, for just so that he can get some game time and rest a couple other players. If Nico G's not really that trusted, and I do understand why, maybe Kovacic, but we should be able to get a couple of rotations in of players who look pretty tired, but we're still able to make a change and not really lose much. I think the biggest issue is going to be Matheus Nunes, because we can't rest him because there is no backup for him. So Kusanov cannot play right back. So look, he has to play and he has to perform very well.
I don't want to do an Arsenal and go in there with a very arrogant attitude.
I don't know, yeah, I agree. No 16-year-old, but I mean,
this is why I don't want to do this. It's only Southampton. Because I know some people will say that. And I understand it because they're looking at it from a championship level. Listen, on paper, Manchester City could win. But I actually think, believe it or not, Saturday will be tougher than last night.
Possibly.
Who's the team who played? Who's the team who played at Newcastle, Martin? You want me to pull that up? I can pull it up.
Yes, stick that up for me. Because I know everyone's going to say, well, like fatigue, yeah. It did. Yes, we do have an 8-day break, yeah. But now this is where I would play Nico G. I would play a Mamouche. But but on the back of my mind, I am also someone who likes to play the strongest, get the game won, and then play them. But as we've been discussing tonight, isn't this the kind of games where you expect your bench players, squad players to come in?
Martin, if Reinders is not good enough to play tomorrow, then serious conversations need to be had. Mamouche the same. Like, if we're not able to put those players in and not lose too much, then I would be very worried about them.
Okay, you guys ready for the team?
Go on.
Where did I just put this? Okay, so we had Nunes, Huzanov, Stones, Ake. We had a midfield of Nico
Sorry,
G.
start that again. Sorry.
It was Nunes, Huzanov.
No, so Trafford in net, I'm presuming.
Trafford in net. Yes, Trafford in net. Nunes, Huzanov, Stones, Ake.
Right.
Then we had a midfield of Nico G, Reinders, O'Reilly. Then our front three was Savinho, Marmouche, Doku.
I see no reason why we shouldn't win this game playing the same 11. I really don't. I think also Gehi needs a rest because the guy looks knackered.
Yeah, so I mean, I might give O'Reilly a rest and put Nori. My backline would probably be, and I hate to do this to Nunes. I mean, because he's played a lot too. But I'll probably say Nunes.
We don't have a
backup. Yeah, so I would say
Nunes.
That's
why we don't.
I'll probably say Nunes, Huzanov, Ake, Nori for me. A midfield, probably Nico G, Reinders, Foden.
Well, he's what if Foden can't get in, then there's a question need to ask about that.
Yeah.
But surely Foden can play against Southampton.
And I'll probably do
rest.
Yeah, I'll probably do Savio, Marmouche, and then Doku.
I mean, surely if Foden
I'm not benching Haaland.
if Foden can't play on Saturday, then I'm sorry, I've got to ask a question then. Because, I mean, if Foden's going to sign a contract, Foden, we're thinking surely good enough to play in the first team anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Surely.
With Foden, I'm a lot more lenient on him. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything on him in this season.
I mean, Andrew's put his
to be
back.
honest.
It's not just about ability, it's about from fitness and rhythm, which I get. And Southampton are flying. If City make a lot of changes, it upsets all of them. What was our semi-final in the treble year? What was our lineup in the semi-final in the treble year, Ed?
Let me just address that one, because the only changes I'm really making is Reinders for Turkey, Savio for Semenyo, and I'd know he for Riley. That's really all I'm doing. Not doing so many changes yet. And of course, Trafford for Donnarumma.
No, see, I don't want to go. Would anyone give Semenyo a go? Saturday?
Yeah. I think Semenyo looks knackered. He's playing bad.
Are you talking about the one we did against Chelsea? That one, Martin? Was that the semifinal before we played United, right?
No, Sheffield United. When Mahrez scored that trick. Josh Romano, when we were bringing in all these players, haven't played proper minutes for over a month. But again, that was my point earlier, Joshua. This is my point about keeping Reinders, Nico G, and all them on the bench for this long. Then on Foden even, they're never going to get match fit and rotational fit again.
Okay, Martin, are you ready?
Go on.
So it was Ederson, it was Kyle Walker, Akanji, Ake, Gavardio, Rodri, Kovacic, Foden, Silva, Grealish, Alvarez.
It's like Real Mario here said, keep Foden on the bench. So are you done with Foden then, Mario? Are you done with Foden then? Because if you're done with, because that's fine, but if Foden can't play in a semi-final against Southampton with respect, then we need to sell him then.
We would get a lot of money for him, so
we need to sell him.
That could pay for the Enzo Fernandez transfer.
Selling Foden is haram. It is forbidden.
I'm taking the piss on that one.
No, but that's what the thing is. Some people don't even want him to say he can't even play on Saturday. And for me, it's an ideal time to put Foden in.
Correct. Or at least start him. If it's not going well, sub him.
Yeah. I think the back line is going to be the back line because of the injuries we've got.
Yeah.
I would give Gay a rest. I don't think he's performing well. Ake or Stones, one of those two. I think it looked a little bit laggy. Yesterday. I think it looked a little bit laggy.
But wouldn't this be Gay's first ever chance at a trophy? Has he ever won anything?
Yeah. He won an FA Cup on top of us.
Oh yeah. So he's got really good FA Cup. So he's got really good FA Cup Wembley form. He's in.
He can still win this FA Cup, right? Like if we go through, he can still play the final.
But he's not intimidated by the occasion.
Oh, but that's not my point. I just think he looks a little bit tired.
It's all right.
So give him.
Yeah, well, like when Neil's put Trafford, Kushnoff, Gay, Ake, Nora. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Bernardo, Gonzalez, agree with that. said yeah, I don't want to rest. Foden, Reinders, Sereno. I'm happy with that 11.
Yeah. And if
I
it's not
would
going
not.
well, we bring on the big guns. You know.
I'd not let Haaland on the bench. I'll start Haaland and then get him.
Then I'm going to ask the same question, but then this Mail put earlier about squad rotation.
I think squad rotation is something for the early days of the season / middle of the season. And these games, some of these players like Haaland play.
So Omar Mamouche is paid $300,000 a week to never play then, cut after February, is what we're saying.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
He knew that when he signed.
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry. Then I go back to my original question an hour ago that I got killed on. Are we surprised these players are a bit pissed off then and may want to go out the door?
Know my position, Martin. I am not convinced that the sheer amount of players who are allegedly pissed off are pissed off.
No, they are. They are.
But if you were a professional footballer, you sign with City and you're basically told from January onwards you're null and void.
No, when I signed a contract, I knew in Marmouche's place that I was there in case Haaland isn't playing, and I might get a midfield role if another midfielder. He knew that, and so he signed the contract.
This is not how they think.
Elite players, not good players, elite players need that competition. They thrive on it. Fighting to get into a place, fighting to get into a first team is what they eat and drink. If you've never met elite footballers, they're like that when they stop playing, when they play golf or whatever they do. They need it. I interviewed, I've said this story before, I interviewed some of the greatest players in the world last year when they were all on a golf tournament here in Bangkok. And all of them told me that golf is what replaced that. And I'm not talking nobodies. I'm talking Paul Scholes and Ruud Gullit, and I could just Joe Hart. Just 24 of the world's greatest ever footballers on the Icon series. Look it up if you want to see how elite these guys were. There wasn't a make weight amongst them, and I got to spend quite a lot of time with them. Socially, it's dead relaxed, and that's what they all told me, because that's what I was interested in. What does golf mean to them? Because I don't play golf, I don't get it. I wanted to know what golf means to them, and they said two things. We've been competitive since we were 6 years old. That's what made us thrive. That's what made us good, right? All footballers have that, but we got to the top. But that competition never stopped. So it's a massive part of our life. And the day you stop playing, it's gone. And it leaves this massive hole in your whole world. Everything that's defined you up until the day you stop playing is suddenly gone. The second thing they said was the banter and the camaraderie. And that's recreated again with the golf and the tour, because they slate each other mercilessly. And so those two things, right? So being part of a club where that is a really strong thing, like it is at City, the team spirit. You've seen the behind the scenes stuff. You know, it's fun. They love being there. The second thing is more important. Elite players need other elite players around them, preferably in their position, because that's what drives them to get better. There's a whole other way of looking at this. The second point I make is again about how much gossip about how unsettled, how many players are allegedly unsettled in a run-in to a tight title race. If that doesn't make you suspicious, then you're not thinking right. Because all of this stuff is picked up by gobshites on Twitter who post it out for clicks, and rivals on their fan channels. They love talking about City being unsettled. And recently they talk about it a lot. Why? I'm not saying I'm right.
Anyways, lads, I need to go. Have a good one, everybody.
There's more than one way to look at this. And I am deeply suspicious about the amount of players that are said to be unsettled and the amount of volume around those stories. I worry about it. We need to be smarter media-wise. That's what
I just look at certain players and I think, like, I know Trevor Spanish, and you love the attitude of sulking, and not sulking, but being angry about coming off.
I don't want them to be happy when they go off. I don't want them to be happy on the
pitch. No, I know, but I think that's a fan thing.
No, I think
that's a fan thing.
That goes to the competitiveness I was telling you about. We can't fathom how competitive these people are, because we
have seen many players, but in the last 2 to 3 years, we've seen many players leave because they're not playing, no, Trav.
And they leave and get the more minutes trophy at the end of their career.
But that's what I'm saying. That is a reality, though. Players will do that.
Martin, if they don't stay and enjoy that competition and enjoy that heat, they were never going to be elite, because they don't have what it takes to be elite. And they can go. Cole Palmer, see you. Loved him while he was at the club. Followed him through his youth career. Thought he was going to be amazing. He thought he was more amazing than he actually was. See you.
But Andrew, you made a great point there. Nico G's behaving impeccably, supporting his team. Get all that. So when does Nico G care about Nico G, though?
That's just called being a pro, though.
So what you're saying is Nico G's a great cheerleader.
No, I think as some pro, you know, at some level you still need to have professionalism, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, if you're not getting picked for the team, we don't want you sitting on, you know, we want you cheering on your teammates. We want you, you know, that's what builds an elite club, right? Everybody is going in the right direction. Even if you don't like what's going on, we'll talk about that during the summertime, or let your agents do that. I don't want to see you, you know, after games, you're not clapping the fans off, right? I don't want to see you doing all that. You know, when you come off, I want you to shake the manager's hand if he goes to shake your hand, right? I think for me, that's this level of professionalism.
There is that, but I also want a cauldron of competition.
Yeah, of course.
Joshua makes a good point in the chat. He's kind of kicking back at me a bit. And I think it's gone, but it was a reasonable point.
That one.
What does he say at the end? When they can't get ahead of said competition and asked to leave. Well, that's the point, that they're not good enough. They don't want to be elite. They want to be guaranteed minutes, and they'll get the more minutes trophy at the end of their careers at a lesser club where the standards are lower, like Chelsea. And that's fine. I have no problem with players like that leaving. You come to Man City knowing that they are one of the top 4 clubs in the world and have been for over a decade. You know what you're getting into. You think you're good enough when you sign that contract. Show me.
And by the way, Lee, I've not said Nico G is bad. My point is, this is another point that everyone's missed it. Nico G played a lot of games from October to December. I agree with you. But why?
Injuries, but I rate him.
No. But that's you just said the key, because Rodri was out. So if Rodri was fit, he wouldn't have played all them games.
Correct.
And that's the point I'm making that everyone's ignoring. But Nico G wants to. And this isn't just Nico G. This is Mamouche. This is Reinders. This is even Phil Foden now. Trafford. Phil Foden is. If we think Phil Foden is not sat there, so I said if Phil Foden can't play it on Saturday against Southampton, then even I'm going to be starting asking questions.
Depends what's going on in Phil's life.
That's what I mean. We're not privy to this.
We don't know, and I definitely don't.
Because Oscar Bob didn't want to stick around, Trev.
See you. Sorry, he's not even getting in the first team of the team that he went to. Bad decision, bad advice, and I love that guy.
I know,
we don't know what's going on with Phil. We know it's not physical. So there's something going on, and it's probably at home. You know, I hate to say it, but he got married very young. You know, his wife might be seeing Italy as a nice place to live, or Spain, or what. We don't know. You know, I'm just speculating, but there's something in his head. I saw it with a couple of players that we've had where other things have been going on in their heads. These are young lads, remember? They're not like me, old and wise.
But here's the thing. But there's something people said to me, couple of times. Why did Cole Palmer leave?
Because he wanted to play more minutes. That was his thing.
So if Riyad
And there were
Mahrez,
strong rumours about his character.
no, I know, Trev, but if Riyad Mahrez didn't want to sit on a bench, and not only that, it's not always sitting on the bench, it's not playing it. Because Riyad Mahrez's problem was not playing in the big games. If you're a footballer, you stay same with Sterling. Why did Emerick Laporte leave?
The thing about Mahrez is that they're, you know, on the other end of him maybe not being unhappy was 100 million bag. Do you want this?
The trouble is, I'm going to say this quite bluntly. To be fair to Reinders and Nico G and Mamouche, they're not Manchester City fans. I know we like to think they are, but they're not.
Few players are.
No, but Mamouche isn't. Trev, they're not. Nico G's not a City fan. Reinders is not a City fan.
But Martin, let me ask you.
He's here to do a job, and his job is to play football. And if he's not playing football, he'll go somewhere else to get the football.
You're getting angry at him based on speculation, unsettlement.
No, I'm not. I'm getting angry because I've heard stuff from people as well.
You told me.
I can't go into. And this is part of my frustration. Some of it I can't go into. I'd like to, but I can't.
But Martin, I think more people are frustrated with the Nico G thing because everybody understands he's.
I know I'm not just talking Nico G.
But I'm asking you this, right? But I'm asking you this, right? I think everybody understood he's back up to Roger, right? When Roger's there, he plays. But they didn't have another player come in front of him, O'Reilly, to play that DM spot. I think that's where people are questioning things, right? He's Roger's backup, but is he Roger's backup or now somebody else came in front of him? So now we have so it's. I think that's.
Well, do you know the way I think football fans look at it? I said this last night in the space. When it goes for us, we'll believe everything. When it doesn't go for us, we don't believe it. So, for example, Elliot Anderson has been talked about in the media for 6 months, and everybody is on the Elliot Anderson. Everyone's like, Elliot Anderson's the bloke. No, but the majority are. They're all on the train. Elliot Anderson's going to be a superstar for City.
New toy.
So why are we believing that? But then anyone wants to leave City or maybe a bit unhappy. Nah, that's media bullshit. Because it doesn't suit the narrative that comes out for us then. Because that's something against us, not for us.
It's a good point. But okay, in isolation, that might be one case where it's true. But we've got allegedly 6 players who are unhappy. Yeah.
How many left last summer?
All at the same time, and it's a title running, and there's a lot of noise about that. It just makes me suspicious, and I think we need to step back sometimes and go, what else could be behind this?
But Trev, this is usually the time you start hearing whispers and stuff because agents are starting to find moves for players for the summer. Right, especially with the World Cup, some of these players are going to want deals done if they do want to move for their next club. I know that's like for us, it's like this is the wrong time to get your agent to get these things out there. But
so Edison, I had this debate with LB. Me and Tony had this debate with LB for 4 months. We've been told behind the scenes Edison wanted out for a long time. And LB was like, nope. It's all rumours. I said, no, he's unhappy. Rumours. And he went. We got told Kanji would want it out. He went. Unfortunately, this is what I'm saying. We lost to Kanji, Kevin De Bruyne, Edison, Gundogan all last season.
Yeah, but only 2 of those were rumoured to say they wanted out. Currently, we've got 6 players who allegedly want to leave. Come on.
No, the only ones we're saying the only ones are Bernardo and Stones because they're out of contract.
Don't mention the ones that we know are going because it's their
the only ones are James Trafford, the Reinders, Mamouche, and Nico G. There's only 4.
Yeah.
I thought there were more than that.
Yeah, well, there's Rico, but I think everyone presumed Rico Lewis could be going anyway.
And I think there's one more, but I can't remember now. I'd have to pull the team sheet up. Foden. Someone saying that Foden. Well, you said you wouldn't be surprised if he wanted away, but we don't know what's going on.
No. I said if he doesn't start this week, when does he start? Is my question.
Yeah.
Because the trouble is, if you're Phil Foden, I love Manchester City's only going to work for so long because you want to play football.
I think he was born blue. Like you and me, he can't change. I think he'll stay until he can't.
Right, so Governor, you said Rodri wasn't a City fan when he joined. Quite correct. So why did everyone call him every name under the sun when the Real Madrid stuff come out then, Governor?
Yeah. And selectively quoted it.
Because he's a Real Madrid fan, Governor. So you got to, this is what I mean. People are believing what they want to believe. It's like the Fabrizio thing I used earlier. When Fabrizio says something good about City, people want to believe it. Something negative, suddenly is clickbait.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He also takes a brown envelope to say things on behalf of agents.
I know
to
that.
unsettle players and unsettle clubs.
I think the difference is with Foden and Rodri. Rodri's had a contract on the table for a very long time, Treb, and it's unsigned. And we're now going into May.
Yeah, but he says, I love it here in that same interview.
Then sign the contract. Sign the contract then.
Yeah, at the end of the season.
But that doesn't suit City.
Doesn't suit us. Doesn't suit City fans. The club.
No, it doesn't suit the club. The club want to know now so they can go and buy someone.
Do you know that?
Yeah, because if Rodri comes out, say they want to buy a player, because I said earlier, transfers work, especially a Rodri replacement, months in advance. Yeah? Say you want a Tonali, that deal will take weeks to get sorted out, not days, weeks, if not a couple of months.
There's difference between buying and extending a contract.
No, so that's what I'm saying. So if Rodri doesn't extend, City now would go into panic mode to get his replacement.
No, we're going into the transfer season and we will already have players lined up if that happens because we're a professionally run football club. We already know.
So that's what I'm saying.
If he doesn't extend, we already know who his replacement is.
Do you not think they've got to put a deadline on it, Trev, though?
Yeah, end of the season.
What date, though? What do you mean? Before the World Cup, after the World Cup?
Well, listen, we could be in an FA Cup final, so that extends our season for an extra week beyond everybody else. Do we want to be having that conversation before an FA Cup final? No. Do we want to be having that conversation in the next 5 weeks, next 5 games? No.
So why has Bernardo announced he's going now then?
Because he's in the twilight. It's a retirement, not a leaving because he's arsed or leaving because he supports another club. He's given us 10 years of his life. He owes us nothing. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Rodri's different. Rodri's at the peak of his powers. So it's not the same. It's oranges and apples. It's not the same situation.
I get what you're saying, but I disagree because I think from a business point of view, the club needs to know sooner or later.
Well, I don't. I got to disagree and say I don't want those conversations happening right now. I want them to happen after we've won the FA Cup and the league.
Unfortunately, on transfers, don't work like that.
It's not a transfer; it's a contract extension, and the club already know who his replacement will be if he doesn't extend. And I quote that saying,
we should already have some things in motion. If it doesn't work out, we should already have some things in motion for the good and bad.
All right, so Rodri delays, goes to, say we go to June, we don't know.
No, he'll say at the end of the season. He'll say at the end of the season.
His replacement agrees to go somewhere else.
No, his deadline is the end of the season, and no business is done until the transfer window's open.
No, Trevor, get that. But like we know, Elliot Anderson's negotiating now with City.
Yeah, and he'll wait. He'll wait. He'll be told to wait.
Wait, how?
Wait until Rodri decides, because he needs to know
that player doesn't have an obligation to Manchester City to wait.
Fine. he needs to know, is he coming in as Rodri's replacement, or is he coming in to be Rodri's backup?
No, that's what I'm saying. So someone like Rodri, you're going to buy a Tonali or an Enzo. No, I want him. Enzo Fernandez or whoever. That's a £100 million sort of ish deal, maybe a bit less.
Mm.
That deal is going to take a long time to sort out.
Because of Marinakis, who wants 120 million for him.
No, but that's they would not want that. So no, it's not just Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson's for Bernardo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Martin, I'm about to jump.
We're talking about like we're bad at this.
But I wanted to ask you, you and Trev, right? Like, besides the whole race thing with Enzo Fernandez, right? Besides, just looking at him as a player, what are your thoughts about? I see already Jay Fresh doesn't want Enzo. What are your thoughts about the player, right? Because I know you said it. I know you said experience, but this is a World Cup winner.
I don't. Do you know what it is? I can't look past the comments. I can't look past his racist comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that tells me the character of a human being.
Yeah. And he's going to be in a multicultural club.
Yeah. For Manchester
City. Multicultural fan base cannot.
I'm going to say something now. Once a racist, always a racist.
Okay.
And I can't.
There are loud racists, and then there are racists who hide it when it's not fashionable.
And not only that, he did it so publicly. And not only that, the way he's been with Chelsea about Real Madrid.
Okay.
Do you want someone who publicly was like, I mean, he literally did what Rodri got accused of when Rodri didn't actually.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't mind. He said he wouldn't mind playing at Real Madrid. He literally said that.
Yeah, he literally said, I want to go to Real Madrid. Publicly to his manager. That's João Cancelo territory.
Yeah.
And I can't listen. I don't even know, even if it was true when we did it, I just don't know if I could ever get on board with it because of his cultural beliefs.
No.
Because, and I'm sorry, I know this is going to go deeper than anyone thinks, but I can't back someone who is openly racist.
Yeah.
Never mind the way he treated his football club.
I mean, any club whose history is decades having a stadium in Moss Side can't sign a racist. Just can't.
Can't do it.
I don't know what you know about Moss Side, where Main Road was. It
was predominantly a black community.
Area.
It was a black community, predominantly, yeah.
In the 50s, it was an Irish. Before the 50s, it was an Irish community. So there's great Irish pubs. In the mid 50s, when we were recruiting from the Caribbean, it became a West Indian area. Our firm in the bad old days of football mob violence were the cool cats, who were black guys. Anyone could join, but it was predominantly black guys from Moss Side. And then it became Indian and Pakistani, hence the curry mile. There's a mile of curry shops. It's just this. The multicultural history of the club is fantastic. It's one of the best things about the club.
Well, Antoine Semenyo, for example,
we just can't.
Antoine Semenyo has just been racially abused on Instagram.
Yeah.
How was it? And not only that, this is way off topic. There's a Hulk Hogan documentary out right now. Yeah, on Netflix. Listen, I grew up in the Hulk Hogan era. Even if he didn't like wrestling, every bugger in his cat knew who Hulk Hogan was.
Yeah.
He was not Big
They
Daddy,
didn't know he was called Teddy Belair, but they knew who Hulk Hogan was.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you weren't a wrestling fan, you knew who he was.
Yeah.
Did things change for him when he made his racial comment?
No.
Things changed for him, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, things change. Yeah, for sure.
That's my point. Because you can say sorry till you're blue in the face. You have got that stigma on your head, and subconsciously, and I always say this, the true meaning of a person. The true meaning of a person comes out when they're angry, they're drunk, or they're a teenage child, and emotional. That's when you get the true character of a person. It's like that man or that woman who hits their partner and goes, I was angry, I didn't mean it, I'll never do it again. Until the next time they get angry. And then I'm sorry again.
I'm just asking because I know, well, Martin, you probably hear more stuff behind the scenes, but I know we have players that we probably wouldn't agree with as a person, right? We know we've heard a lot of stories about players, how they act in clubs and community and towards women, all that stuff, right? So we've had players at the club who we probably have disagreements as a person, right? I think that's fair to say, right? Yeah. But I guess we're all saying, and I agree with you, that racism is a line I do not want.
The Bernardo one was a funny one, though, because Bernardo did it on a cartoon that didn't realize what he was doing it on. It was disgusting, and he was condemned. No. I think there's a way, again, this is going to say there's a way of probably saying it and doing it. Enzo Fernandez did it so publicly. And
yeah. I mean, we don't want to go to the background of Argentina.
Yeah, I don't want to go into
all that stuff.
The world and everything else, because Jesus, we'll open up the right kind of worms, and we've really got off the subject here.
Can I just say though that the chat is well funny at the moment. MCFC Rash.
Just cooking rice and peas for Sunday lunch.
But just as a player, you guys don't rate him as a player.
No, I'll be honest. I don't think he's worth the 100 and God knows what it'd be to get him out the door. Okay. I prefer Tonali over him. I think a lot of Chelsea players are overrated. I think Caicedo is way overrated. I just think Chelsea. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm with LB. Chelsea are a basket case of a football club. Nothing they're doing is correct. Nothing they're doing is correct. Never.
Unless, here's my theory about American owners. They can't believe how lucky they are that they bought a business that, regardless of the performance, people will turn up every week, buy season tickets and merch, even if they're shit. And they can't believe that the product can be shit and people.
No, it's the NFL. We got the NFL, Trev. We got the NFL. Look up the Cleveland Browns, okay? Look up the Cleveland Browns. Exactly that. And it's just that business model is a dream because they can have profitable mediocrity for decades. I'm a Raiders fan. Come on. I've been a Raiders fan since I was about 14 because I liked the jersey. It was black and silver. It was cool, you know? But this is the thing about American owners. Glory is optional as long as the profit's there. And they've got these people, these customers who will buy that product forever, indefinitely, regardless of how bad the product is. And I think that's Tom Bowley's got two things going on. He's got that. He can't believe how lucky he is to have found a business like that with customers like that. The second thing is I think he's trying to play Moneyball. Yeah, have you seen the movie Moneyball?
Yeah, I said that.
Right.
Sure.
I think he's applying Moneyball.
But he's trying to do it for young players and older generations. He's doing it the other way around.
Yeah, he's doing Moneyball with a young demographic.
Yes.
And it's interesting. It's not working, but it's interesting. But yeah, American owners, that's why they want a game in America. They want to steal a game from us and play it in America. They want to take a home fans game per season and play it in America. It's why they want to stop relegation and promotion, because they want to lock in that permanent profit. And glory is optional for them, because glory to them is a spreadsheet. It's a P&L.
Right, I'm going to say this because I'm going to end in a minute. I'm going to send you over to who's live. I'm going to send you over to True City Fan in a minute. One thing I will say is Saturday, I think will be I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I'm going to go 2-1. I think Southampton will come out and they'll give a really good account of themselves. And because listen, Southampton I'm out to lose. I know they've got a couple of players missing and we have, but listen, they're going to have the crowd advantage.
2,500. 2,400 more. We gave him 2,400 tickets
Yeah,
back.
but we've not sold out, Trev.
Yeah.
We're nowhere near sold. I'll have a look now.
The thing that amuses me is that they'll have, 30, 40,000 there and they can't get 12 at a home game.
Well, I suppose it's yeah, but it's their cup final, isn't it, really? I suppose.
Sure. I just don't like Southampton. I once dated a girl who was a Portsmouth fan, and I think that she rubbed her body against me until I hated Southampton as much as she did.
I'm just looking now. I mean, there's 210 in that block, 211 in that block, 500. Sorry, I mean, it is going down. It won't be as empty as I first considered it. It is going down. Not going down by loads, but it's going.
We know why. You're not getting any change out of 200 quid.
No.
If you go to the game.
There's about 1,000 seats left, so we've actually done well now. But it is true, we have had to give. Oh, sorry, there's about 2,500. So there'll be about 5,000-6,000 more than us.
No big deal. They don't sing as well
as 3,000 we had. But like
we sang Boys in Blue at Burnley.
Oh, that was magnificent. That I sang that loud and proud last night.
I teared up, mate. I always do at that verse. Maybe in another generation, when other lads have come to take our place. It means more to me now. I'm 62. It's like, other lads have come to take our place. I didn't think anyone would.
But Dash has gone for a 2-0, 2-2 win on pens.
Ed's gone for a number 2. He's been gone too long for it to be a was.
Yeah, we've sold 24,000 of the 33,000 so far. I think we meet Leeds in the final. Well, we've got to beat them. I've gone for 2-1. Sarah's gone for 3-1. Don't worry, we'll still outsing them.
Correct.
It's going to be a good crap. Me and Tony will be down there. Luke will be down there. Darcy's coming down. Andrew, are you coming down? Are you in the 5th tier? I'm on level 1.
You want to get Dash to bring you a curry. Apparently, he's good at it. He said in the chat.
Plus an open blocks. We've not opened a lot. We've not sold about 10k. Yeah, it is what it is, mate. I understand it. Feed the yak bar. Where's that?
What is
Feed
it?
the yak bar.
What's a yak
Where's
bar?
that?
Heading to Feed the Yak Bar. Oh, it's the name of a pub, Feed the Yak.
I don't know where that is.
Why
Oh,
can't we
well,
just
all right then.
names?
Andrew, you've got my number, so message us anyway and we'll meet you down there. Can't make it down, unfortunately. Don't worry, we'll be... Me and Tom may go live from Wembley, we'll see.
Ed looks lighter since he disappeared. Did you drop a couple of pounds?
But anyway, I want to thank everyone who's joined. And listen, I'm going to say this. I like Nico J. For the people who've not... I like Nico J. I've just asked questions. That is all. And for some reason, it's made me a Nico G hater. I'm not. I like Nico J. So before anyone goes, you hate Nico J, I think he's a good player. Anyway, big up to Trev, big up to Ed for joining us.
See ya.
Tone Ozza, Governor earlier on. I'm just going to send you all over to... I need to just add this in now. There's 348 likes. Can we hit the 350? That is magnificent. Thank you very much, all. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 10,000 now is our next main target. 10,000 likes, which would be good. I'm just going to send this over to True City Fan, who are live. There you go. Put Mankway Raid in the chat so they know you are from us. So Mankway Raid in the chat over on True City Fan. Much love to Patrick and the guys. We'll see you live from Wembley. Tomorrow I'm on Judge Mo at 5 p.m. And then I'm on the catch up at 6:30, something like that. And then we'll do something from Wembley, and we'll be back Sunday night with Wembley post-match. Because obviously I'll be travelling home Saturday. So big up, Paul. You're all legends. Take care. And as always, up the Blues. Take care, all.
See ya.